Thing bad about Gabe. I will never say that Gabe's always late or he never shows up. Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, welcome to
Hey, welcome to the welcome. How we doing?
Good, man. Good. Sunday night, man. Hopefully everybody's having a good weekend. Whatever or not, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. I had a good weekend. What is it? The first week of OTA, right? Or training camp. First week of training camp is in the books. A lot of people talking. There's a lot of stuff going on.
I know a lot of
it's going to be nice to talk about camp.
Yeah, it is. Pretty sure it is, Josh.
I'm going to have to eat some of my words, too, about AOC and Minshew, man.
That's why we got our main concern. Our main concern is to see who is doing what in training camp. And if we believe all these nonsense, because you were there, bro.
Yeah, you know, I record when I'm not supposed to. Just saying.
So we're gonna get asked. We're gonna get asked this, and you're gonna have to answer some questions. And
yeah, we're gonna.
I know you're down for it. I know you're down for it because there's a lot of people that don't really know you, my boy. RaiderNationLive knows Josh the GOAT. We've been chilling together. Number one man right here.
So, man, we're going to get into it, man. Like we tell you guys all the time, be thankful for what you do, got what you don't. Welcome to Raider Nation Live. I'm your host, Lo. We got Coach Gravy. Raider Gabe's on his way. And we got the infamous, the viral sensation. The puppet master of all puppet masters.
I brought him too. So
he got it right there. How much that cost, Joe? How much that cost, bro?
They cost me. I make these, bro. I literally we make these. Yeah, it's like $60.
I want that
make
one.
It.
I want that one that's on. I'll talk to you behind. I want that one right there that you gave Trey. That Trey got.
That is the one I gave Trey Taylor. That is it right there, man. That's the same one, yeah. So usually, like, because people don't know, like, people thought I did this, like, because there's people talking shit, like, oh, he did this for clout. I'm like, I've been doing this for fucking 5-6 years already.
Bro,
I have pictures of me pre-COVID at KC with fucking Kermit Mahomes. Yeah, like I do it every year. And last year I was in the stadium with it in the Win Club, and like I was on TV with it and shit. And then I have pictures with the AC, I have pictures with Max Crosby, other players with it. So it's like, it's not something new. I do it every year, and I usually give it away to a KC fan in exchange for like some food and beer. So like last year, I gave it away for like 3 drinks.
But don't get rid of that one. I'll buy it off. I'll buy it off you, bro.
I got requests to make some, so I ordered some. I got a bunch of DMs, so I ordered the stuff to make them because it's like you have to get stuff at different locations, and then you just put it together. But so I'm making like 10. I thought people would be funny, but they are not going to let these motherfuckers in the stadium again. I'm telling you that right now. Don't even try. I already talked to security. I already heard about the closed door meeting they had about me. They knew who I am. They got my picture. Like, you ain't getting in one of these anymore. Yep.
Wow, bro, that bad?
And all it did is they licked out one time.
That bad.
And Josh, to be honest with you, I know we got to get to the chat and all that real quick, but just to break the ice, do you think that what people are saying about you and the Muppet and all this shit deserves what people are saying that doesn't belong it doesn't belong?
No.
They should be concentrating on a certain thing.
It's
Go ahead and speak your words.
He was having fun. He's a kid. Here's the thing, man. Like, I've taken this thing to camp before. I've taken it to games before, home and away games. I've taken it to meet and greets. I've taken it to like every type of event you can imagine. I've taken these little puppets to before because I think it's funny. It looks like fucking Mahomes, and everybody gets a kick out of it. People take photos of it and everything. Here's the thing. The only thing that was bad that he did, period, was call Mahomes a bitch. And I thought it was funny as fuck. And everybody was like, oh, shit. Like, we were all wild out about it. But at the end of the day, like, talk shit. He's just a man. He's a guy that throws a football. Don't be afraid of him. So, like, I'd say, like, 90, 95% of the feedback I'm getting is positive. Casey's pissed off. Casey is fucking pissed. Like the fans. Oh yeah. I had people that I haven't seen in 3-4 years out in Kansas City because like my Instagram wasn't big back then. I didn't pass it around. Like message me like, oh my God, you hang out with me in the Booster Club, you know, when you were in KC for the draft and this and that. I was like, oh shit, I remember you guys. So now I'm going to be with the Booster Club on KC on Black Friday. So that'll be fun. They invited me out. So it'll be, they're nice people. But no, I'd say the feedback is not that bad. 90-95% of it is all positive. You did see Jack Jones get pissed off. So he did at my buddy and say shit to him. So, but other than that, there's not really been any issues. Nobody gives a fuck.
So my biggest thing, bro, Josh, man, you know, I mean, even like, I don't know if a lot of people know our history, but I even told you, and I have no problem telling anybody. I don't give a fuck. All the jiu-jitsu you know and all that, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna be honest all the ways across the board. So me and Josh, when we first met, it was on IG. It was an argument over Derek Carr. Josh was right. So I was like sitting there saying backing him up. But what Josh told me, he was like, man, I'm a fucking Raider fan, not a Carr fan. There's a difference. And then, you know, and like over the time, I've learned all this shit, right? Just learning football and whatever, not learning the aspects of how other people think about it. So it like kind of changed my mind in certain aspects. But ever since then, we became friends. Been cool. We see each other at the game, shoot the shit real quick, and then we just move on and just, you know what I mean? But yeah, but like one of the things that I noticed that I remember from you was you having that fucking doll. That was the fucking first. That was another thing. And this was years ago. This was fucking years ago, bro. Like you said, about 4 or 5 years ago. Like that's when I was around the time I started following you. It was right, you know, pre-COVID, whatever, whatnot. And that's when I was kind of like, all right, you know what I mean? This guy's fucking hilarious. Like, you know what I mean? And I got it. You know what I mean? I understood. Yeah. So it's like I even seen there was a fucking video of you throwing it up at you were in the middle.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, they put me on ESPN at the draft in KC because I took the doll.
He was in the middle.
We were throwing it up and down and screaming, and then Herb Street had me on ESPN for it last year. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, so I remember seeing that shit, right? You look, there was nothing but KC fans. They were up on the fucking I guess stage or whatever, whatnot, and he literally threw it up. You have a horrible arm, bro, because it didn't get there. And then they gave it back to you, and then you tossed it up there, and then they got it. And they had it, and they were on ESPN fucking talking shit with it, laughing about it. And see, the thing is, though, I think the biggest concern about everything about it is that the bitch part. That's the biggest part of it. I think that's what it was. I'm here, bro. That's fucking hilarious. There has been fucking cartoons of that shit. Like, you know what I mean? On IG, TikTok, there's all kinds of shit.
They asked him that question at the Super Bowl. Do your current Mahomes impression. He's like, I'm doing it right now. Like,
yeah, exactly. So he knew about that. So one of the first guys that I ever seen talking shit, like I didn't put it together. Then they come out with like Kenny Powers, that he talks like Kenny Powers a little bit and all that shit. And all it is to me, bro, is like me and Gravy were talking about it, bro. All it is just fucking talking shit. This is what sports is. We talk shit. You know what I mean? People are getting so sensitive. Oh, he's clickbait. Bro. You have never been clickbait, bro. You've always been honest, straight up, and just going off of fucking what you want to do and have fun, bro. Like me and Gravy talk about it all the time. And like we were like, because we've been talking about like who we gonna get on. I was like, man, I was gonna get you on Thursday, but I seen you Thursday early morning when I was making the thumbnail. I seen you there, and I was like, oh shit, he's not gonna have time to jump on. And then that shit happened. And I was like, fuck shit. Yeah, and I was like, oh shit.
Dude, we were at the restaurant eating because we got done with camp. We went over to the player hotel. We were eating, and then all of a sudden, like, we got all these messages. All like, oh, we fucked up. We're like, oh shit. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I mean, my buddy Andrew, we're sitting there like, oh, this is getting out of fucking control. Like, we had DMs from SportsCenter, ESPN, TMZ, Grida, fucking other podcasts were asking us for the photos. And then they put my fucking picture on the news. So there's a picture of me going like, you know, that one over like that, like acting like a fucking goofball.
Yeah, I seen that shit.
The one you edited, that one was on the LA and Las Vegas news.
That's funny. All right, we're gonna keep on talking about. Let me get to the chat real quick, bro. We'll get back into it. And Gabe's is pulling up too. Gabe, what up, Gabe?
What's cracking? What up?
Okay, let me get to the chat real quick, bro. Let me get into it. Hey man, thank you guys for pulling up. Like we always tell you guys around these parts, be thankful for what you do, got what you don't. Don't drink and drive, man. Raider Nation Live. We got everybody on the panel. We got I'm What Up Low. Got Coach Gravy, Ready Get 420, and our special guest, viral sensation, crazy motherfucker. You know him as the GOAT 209, Josh. Shout out, Josh. We get to the chat, man. We'll get into it. Payne is in the building. Hit sticker. I'm going to go through it quick, guys. Raider P, what up? House Junkies in the building. If I miss you, man, please forgive me. There's a bunch of them in here. Dark Side in the building. Hit stick. Gabe said he's pulling up. Hey, there he is. 2 cents. What up? Raider Mania, bro. Salute to you. Christopher Raiders. Unfazed. Ray Love. Let me see. Unfazed. Battle 559. What up? What up? Ben Bad in the building. Raider Dad, what's up? Raider Dad, better shield up. We got an insiders, bro. Shield up is a contraceptive that we're working on for the Raiders. Anyway, who else in the building? Darkside 209. KC fans have a lot of Sissy Alice. So there you go. Stupid. House Junkies. Billy Davis in the building. SoCal Sal in the building. Who else? William M. John Parker in the building. Unfazed says right here. Hold up, y'all. Y'all are missing the main part of this. AP says smoke your shit, talk your shit. And AP has the blueprint to them bitches. Yeah, agreed. Very, 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 very true, bro. Salute to you on that one, bro. All right, I'm just trying to catch up. Okay, Road King, Raider, what up? All the smoke, all that smoke our shit, talk our shit, preaching for the locker room, the fan base. What do you say? I'm sorry. Damn, there's a lot of people in here. Fan base, from the locker room to the fan base. This happens now. Everybody's bitching and crying. Fuck KC. They stay throwing shots at the Raiders. Yeah, that is true too. All right, who else? I'm trying to catch up to everybody, man. Forgive me. Yeah, shit, we're hella deep. Ernest in the building. 9 Beach Bum. Yeah, I doubt AP was upset. I think he wasn't upset, bro. Like, even though, like, you got to kind of touch on that a little bit more. What you're saying that everyone was kind of like saying that, you know, to watch out for you. That's fucking crazy, bro. I don't see all that shit happening, but I mean, you can elaborate if you like as we catch up. Sean Johnson in the building. We're almost there. Damn, we're way back here, bro. Vic Sacramento in the building. All right, caught up. All right, let's keep it going. Okay.
This is my first podcast since doing it too, because I was busy coming back, so I couldn't hop on my own. And then yeah, I have a competition, so I've missed the past couple weeks. So I'm gonna have to skip practice Wednesday and get on my own podcast and talk about all this shit.
Look at that famous Josh over here. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, so what we were talking about was basically like me and Gray. We were talking about this. We had a pre show whatever. And we started talking about some other shit, but we're not gonna bring that up. But no, he was saying that like apparently a couple shows, even our fan base, bro, is like really like kind of like lightweight shit on you, bro. I'm like, wait a minute, like what the fuck, like you know what I mean? I don't think it's because they don't know you, bro, or they don't know your personality. They just kind of maybe see certain things and like kind of just prejudgment, like bro, like. I think personally, bro, like you're fucking hilarious, bro. Like you do some crazy shit. Like I really don't want to see your ass on fucking IG. I'm cool with that part, but like dead ass, like you know what I'm saying. You can do that. OnlyFans, all that shit.
So yeah, I'll explain it this best way. So we have a group chat. All the like the big hitter YouTubers, like we have a group chat together, and I'm probably the least famous one in there. Like to be being perfectly candid, like some of the big guys that you see me hang out with. And if there's something they can't post, they're like, "Oh, just give it to Josh," or like they'll give me the idea and I'll go do it. Yeah. And so it's like they're like, "Oh, like, it's just how it is." Yeah. And, we joke about that. It's just I do what I want, and you just kind of live in the moment and have fun. There's things I've done where I'm like, I've gotten some messages from some famous people, and they're like, "Hey, you stepped over the line there." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, you might see it that way," but I thought it was funny. But at the end of the day, the only thing people were really saying that's bad was one, I was chasing clout or clicks. I had no idea, and this is the one thing I put on my Instagram today. This is why he came over to me. This is his college. This is an Air Force helmet. That's why Trey Taylor came up to me, because I had that, and I was messaging him a couple days prior. Me and him were talking on Instagram. And, I told him, I asked him about being on podcasts, things like that. And I was like, my brother's a service member. And then I bought the mini helmet to get him to sign because I'm like, I don't have that. Air Force guys aren't drafted very often. So that's why he came up to me. There was no like, take fucking Kermit Mahomes or like that. he asked for it. Like, he literally was like, "Can I see that?" And he called the rookies over, and they're all laughing. And then they started playing with it, and they were looking at my shirt. Because the shirt too, I have Mahomes making out with a ref too.
Right,
you saw that. Yeah. So I got more shit about the shirt from on my end than the puppet, because people were like pretty what is it now? Oh my god. I don't know how you say anti-gay. What the hell am I looking for?
Yeah,
homophobic.
Like homophobic. Yeah, they were very homophobic about the shirt. That was the number one thing I got. And then the other part was like, "Oh, you're chasing clout." I was like, I posted it because I did it and I thought it was funny. There's if that wouldn't have happened, I would have still posted all my camp videos, which I been doing. So it just happened. Like, I don't know how to say it wasn't planned. It just happened.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't plan for that stuff. You can't really plan for that type of stuff. Anyways, like that. Like, when you like, I mean, those type of things are kind of like, you never think that a player's just gonna grab the puppet and just start doing that. So like, that's something you can't really plan for. I mean, obviously you have it. I mean, like, anything could happen anytime, because so somebody might catch it funny or whatever like that. But that type of shit, you never know. You never expect like somebody to actually grab it, from one of the players and actually do that shit. So it's like, I wouldn't call it necessarily like cloud chasing and shit like that, because that's one thing you never really expect from a player. You know what I mean? To just grab it, from a manager like that and do that.
And he took it to the extreme, and we were fucking dying when he did it. And I know some other people posted it, but the thing is, me and Andrew have the followers. So once we posted it, it just fucking blew up. And so there was probably 10 phones on him at that point. I have pictures of him, doing the autographs. I have selfies with every single one of them. Every single rookie came up to me, because I was in the very front of camp, like right in the, I don't know, one of my buddies had like the VIP seats. So he's like, "Oh yeah, come over here and sit with us." So we're literally right on the practice field. Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, it is what it is. I haven't got that negative much feedback. I mean, I got a shit ton of followers from it, so I can't complain about that.
Yeah. And that's another thing that a lot of people don't realize, like, what you actually do, because you didn't know you were already getting like crazy amount of followers doing just your normal shit, right? But mainly being Raider stuff and stuff like that. But then what you did was, you told me that you talked to Fitz, and you're saying, hey, Fitz was like saying, "Hey, why don't you monetize this?" And you're like, "Yo, I don't really need the money or anything like that." So what you do is like the signatures, like you got Bowers, you got that, you'll raffle it off. You have all these jerseys. So when you go to all these different places, a lot of people see you there, and you make your connections, whatever or not, and you have your following and stuff like that, but you give back a lot to the community, bro, of the Raider Nation, and that's where a lot of people get it misconstrued. And even if you are doing it for clickbait, bro, fuck them, bro. Like, you're doing it because this is something, like, dead ass, like, because it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. We're all trying to do our part, like be a part of the nation, get a little notoriety, get some stuff going. Like, it'll be great to do this shit every single day. You know what I mean? So it's like, if we're striving to do that and people ain't doing it because you're doing it, bro, like, fuck them, bro. Like, I mean, dead ass, like, you know what I mean? You're trying to do stuff and you're actually giving back. And that's where a lot of people, I think, got you misconstrued. And it's, I don't think it's from more of the outside. Of course, KC fans are going to give you shit. I think it's a little bit.
Pissed. They're pissed.
Yeah, of course. I can even see it on fucking Mahomes' face. He's like, "Oh, we'll deal with it when we can." But you should.
Yeah, I got invited to. I got invited to like a couple of the KC like groups, because I actually, when I went to the draft, one of the heads of the booster club out there had a table, and they invited me and my buddy over. If you know Gogo, because he does a lot of community stuff, and he used to he used to run foster homes and stuff. So like, he has a good rapport with a lot of people, and so we were hanging out with the booster clubs for KC while in KC, decked out in Raider gear, and they were nothing but hospitable. And once the video posted, they found me because my name was spelled in the articles, and they're like, "Oh my God, we haven't seen you in 3 years. You have to come on Black Friday. It'll be hella fun. We're taking a party bus." And I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna book my stuff then," because I wasn't gonna go. But it's about the connections, and then like I think people are starting to get the feel of it, and it's gonna get bigger as the season goes on. Like how much stuff I actually do give away on my page. 3 game tickets already, like 3 sets. So I gave away Charger tickets. I gave away Niner tickets today. And then yesterday I gave away Cowboy tickets. And the Cowboy tickets were free. I gave those away for free. Like, didn't charge anybody. I had extra tickets. And I just like, hey, tag somebody, comment, bam, you're entered. And so for the Cowboys game, I talked to the girl today. And she said she's never been to a game in Vegas. And she's like, "I'm going to go because the tickets are free." I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then the guy that won the LA tickets, He lives in this area, in Oakland area. And he's like, I haven't been to a game since they left. He's like, that's a reason for me to go to a game now because I was like, I have tickets. I'm like, fucking awesome, dude. I hopped on a call with them, congratulated him. I'm like, this is why I do that. Like, I don't want the money from this stuff. I want the tacos and the alcohol. And connections. Like that's what. Big experience. That's what I want.
Yeah. See, that's kind of like where I was when I started doing all this stuff, and like Gabe and his family been like great every time when I go and shit like that, even in Vegas. And then I met up with you guys and stuff like that, and of course Gravy too. But it's like this kind of just more of the connection thing, you know what I mean? But then. So it's like that's pretty much what it's all about, bro. And I know I kind of want to clear it up, but also I knew that you were gonna go because you're a season ticket holder. So like me and Gravy and Gabe were talking about like, man, we got to get Josh on because he's gonna be our insider because there's really no press because of all the bullshit that the Rams
let me
put
tell you why they do that. And this is my kind of that comment or the unfazed. I'll get to that in a second because I got some news for that. They make you turn off your phones because they have their own reporters that are recording everything. It's not that they're recording plays because they're recording it and posting it on YouTube. They just don't want us to do it. So I don't know what to say. Like that really did anger me because I'm like, dude, I can't record the plays. I can't record, hours catching touchdown passes. But the Vegas media is there recording it, and then Hondo's there recording it, and other people that are with the ESPN are recording it. Why can't I? So that was the only upsetting part of camp to me. But sorry, I don't even talk so much. But unfazed, because of Instagram and it's gained so much traction, I am buying another PSL to start giving away on my page. I'm talking to somebody right now in the 125 section, so I'm going to be dumping those to my subscribers just to kind of give back. I'm almost there. I'm talking to them now. I'm trying to get them down in price. So if PSLs are fucking expensive. So I'm negotiating with them, but that should be a thing this year. If not, I will be giving away tickets every month next year. So I'm trying to give away all 8-9 games, whatever we have.
That's what's up. Yeah, shit. If you can win some tickets for $4.99, shit, that's a steal right there.
What the main thing is that what I've been saying, reacting to these people that are saying stuff about Josh and his homeboy, is that you don't know this dude and you don't know what he does giving back to the Raider Nation. He just told you he's giving back tickets to people that ain't been at games since Oakland, and the jerseys and helmets. He has 9 of every body that he just gives off his own. I'm sure it's sentimental to him. I wouldn't give that shit away. You know what I mean? If I had 10 Browns autograph 5 times and a mini helmet, I would keep that shit. I ain't giving it to nobody.
I got friends that are like that. They have duplicates of everything. Yeah, but I'm like, there's a point. I'm like, fuck, I gotta clear some of this stuff out, dude. I'm running out of room. Yeah.
We should be happy that we got somebody like Josh out there that could give everybody information, the correct information, and then have some fun and say, look, Trey Taylor, Trey Turner, whatever, he's a rookie. He's just a little boy out there. He don't know no better. Josh didn't tell him to say, I'm a bitch. Right, Josh? You ain't holding this dude's hand.
I didn't say that.
He did that on his own, right? So
I mean, we're all saying,
I'm here,
and then he's like, I'm a bitch. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah. So he said that on his own.
Yeah.
There's probably about 30 people there. Yeah, and the thing is, like, I did not expect that, but at the same time, I'm like, that's Ed Reed's cousin, so he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder. And if any, like, you guys know, like, I'm heavy into college football. If you ever watched him, I'm not going to say like Tom Brady because obviously he's a rookie. He's the Tom Brady mindset of a defensive back. He's not the most athletic. He's not the biggest. He's not the fastest. He's not the strongest, but he is the smartest. That's what he is out there. So if he can overcome that as a safety, that's why he doesn't play corner, because he's not explosive. If he can overcome that as a safety, he should make the team. So I think that's what people are talking shit about him. Like, oh, he's a 7th round pick. Like, yeah, it's also Ed Reed's cousin. Like, he's going to talk shit. Ed Reed, one of the best defensive players ever to walk on a football field, and top 5 safety all time. Easy, if not top 3. Only ones I can think probably like Brian Dawkins is probably better. That's it. Maybe Lynch, somebody like that. But like,
he ain't even compared to Ed Reed.
Yeah. I would say maybe Dawkins and Reed probably the number 1 and 2.
I like
1A.
I would say
you're saying that because Lynch is white. Racist. That's racist.
I'm gonna tell you, this is white boy summer for the NFL. We got to run and fucking cornerbacks this year. All right.
Yeah,
I would say they ain't gonna play either. I would say my safeties. I would say Ronnie Lott. You know, Ed Reed, and then Troy Polamalu, man, was a beast too.
Polamalu was good.
You're forgetting a lot of people. Rob Woodson.
Oh, yeah, come on. We're just talking about. I would just say like top 3. Like we were like top 3. Like Ed Reed is in there. Ed Reed is in there.
Yeah. Like teams had a game plan for Ed Reed, and this is what this kid has access to. I guarantee. I wouldn't say I guarantee because I don't know their relationship, but I'm pretty sure. If they're family and they're actually close or whatnot, I'm sure Ed probably called him or texted him like, "Hey, just roll with it," And they're gonna handle it internally. We never know what's gonna happen. We never know what's gonna go on behind the doors. And you know how AP is. He shuts shit down. So as long as they back it up, like we're good. Like talk shit. Yeah. You see Max Crosby talking shit to people all the time, and nobody bats an eye because he goes out there and backs it up. You got
that's exactly what I said on the last show.
You did, yeah.
I said
you got. I don't mind it. Let him do it.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind the shit talk. Just as long as you're ready for the consequence, and as long as you know you can back it up. That's the only thing, bro. That's the only thing that people have kind of like. Because he's a 7th round pick, so they kind of have like they're reserved about it. Like, damn, why is this guy talking? Which I kind of said too, like in the last show. But then again, too, I was like, if he could back it up and he makes this team, and he proves, and he just keeps getting better, then fuck it. If that's gonna give him confidence, anything that's gonna give you swag and help you play better on that field, I'm for it. That's all I'm for. I like, as long as it's gonna make you play better, fuck it. You know what I mean? Because some guys are built different, bro. Like they like talking shit. They like being, outspoken. Some guys like being quiet. You know what I mean? Some guys just give the ball back to the referee when they score. Like it's just a different in everybody. And hey, he just proved that he's not. He looks like he's from that cloth. The Ed Reed. He is his nephew. So hopefully he really is from that cloth. You know what I mean? Not just the shit talking and all that shit. Hopefully he just backs it up. That's all that matters.
But see, another thing too that I'm seeing that is like they're having this delusion that this guy's going to come in and start over Smith, that he's going to start over us. Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's I'm not saying us, but I've heard like they're like, oh, well, he's the next fucking coming just because he's related to somebody. And I understand that you learn from your family or whatever not, but especially in this, in this atmosphere, which is football, you know what I mean? I get that part. But yet at the same time, they're making it seem like he's the number 1 starting guy. He slipped by calling him a bitch. And there's nothing wrong with him saying that, but overall, you don't want to disrespect people. Realistically, you don't want to disrespect people.
Yeah.
But everything else about it was funny. And that's what I think they're now.
And the thing is, you think these people don't talk shit. And so I saw the all eyes on me comment. You think these people don't talk shit. Like I have posts that I will not post of players because I know the backlash they would get from it. I have 2 that I have on my phone. It's for me. It's not for anybody else. I have one person saying fuck Mahomes. Shouldn't be saying that. And then I have another guy talking shit about Al Davis. And I would never post those 2 because I'm like, that's borderline, man. I was like, can't say that shit.
Right.
I'll tell you guys after the show. And you're like, oh, fuck.
But all right, audience. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I told you about
30-minute live today. So we're gonna hear all the shit talkers.
But yeah, and there's conversations.
The live's over, bro. 30-minute live.
There's conversations I've had when the cameras are off. When I'm sitting there enjoying myself at events, and you purposely put your phone down, and people speak very candidly because they know all you can do is repeat it. You can't record it. There's no evidence of it. And I've heard some funny ass shit coming out of people when these cameras are off. You gotta remember, these are people too. They go out
locker room
for a living and they have fun doing it.
Worse.
Yeah, it's
worse.
Oh yeah. Come on, dog. Everybody's trying to be an alpha in that motherfucker. So
hell yeah.
It's being talked, it's it's just gonna keep going levels and levels and levels. When shit's being talked in the locker room, dog, like you know what I mean? It's just gonna there's no limits in the locker room. So you can tell everybody says some shit in the locker room, dog. So it's like I know that there's so much shit talked about, but I mean it's the media nowadays. They're gonna blow up anything out of proportion. You know what I mean? Especially during the off season. It's Mahomes and the Raiders. I mean, you know what I mean? So it's like they're gonna say something about it. So but like I said,
completely blown out of proportion. Completely blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
It's funny, but completely, absolutely blown out of proportion. And that's what I was saying. I was laughing. I saw the reports. Like, Raider players were passing it around. Raider players took it to the practice. I'm like, bitch, I took it there. Like, nobody brought shit. I was like, that was me. So it's like, a lot of these, what's his name? Nick, the guy from Fox Sports, one with the long hair. I hate him. I can't remember. Nick, is it right? Nick
Wright? Yeah, Nick Wrong. Yeah, Nick Wrong, because he ain't right about shit. He ain't right about shit.
Him, Paul Pierce, these other people that are like.
Well, I heard Paul Pierce's take.
Paul Pierce said I was out chasing.
Didn't Paul Pierce stab somebody?
That dude shit his kid, so fuck him right off the bat. That dude shit himself.
Colin Coward too, that dude.
Yeah, Paul Pierce ain't got nothing to say because he was Kevin Garnett's bitch. That's why,
dude. And Kevin Garnett. Listen. Okay, so
I haven't seen Colin Cowherd's. I don't watch his show, so I haven't seen what he said.
He's just a dumbass.
Didn't Paul Pierce stab somebody? Paul Pierce literally stabbed somebody.
No, he got stabbed.
Or what? But he was in a fight, whatever. We're not doing some shit, talking shit. So he's sitting there talking about basketball. Like they're not in there talking shit to each other. Like they're not talking shit. Yeah, like come on, bro. Like see, and then that's the thing is like all of a sudden they get soft. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, it's competition. You're gonna talk shit if you're in the ring, if you're in those white lines, if you're in the fucking inbounds on the court. You're talking shit, bro. That's what it is. Yeah. So it's like the fans. If you go anywhere. Fans are sitting there like when we walk in, boo! How we fucking.
Bro, have you seen how mad they got at Gilbert Arenas for talking about the South Sudan team? It's just too much, like trying to control everything with like baby mittens and shit, dog. Like it's like they're just like they're trying to handle everything with such like, you know what I mean? And it's like fuck. Sometimes it just gets and everything gets blown. Something small could get blown out of proportion like that. You know what I mean?
It depends the type of commentator. So this is how I look at things too. So if you notice, most of the players thought it was funny. Most of the players that are commentators were like, yeah, talk shit, just back it up. The people that didn't like it were the ones that never played football or never were professional athletes. You know, there's a few here I think not Greg Jennings, the Packers wide receiver. That's on Fox Sports. He was like, I thought it was funny. He's like, talk shit. He's like,
John Jones.
No, it was Greg Jennings.
Yeah.
No, it was Greg Jennings. Yeah, because the other one. I know who you're talking about. Speak. You're talking about Speak. He also played for the Raiders too, but Greg Jennings played for the Raiders too for a little bit. But he's the one that said that. I remember he's the one that said those comments.
Yeah, he was like, talk shit. He's like, that's what we're there for. Talk shit. Just you got to back it up. He's like, I have no issue of him saying anything. And I was like, most of the players were like that on TV and commentating. But they're like, yeah, you poked the bear, but fuck it. Just you got to roll with it. And that's kind of what I thought.
Like, what are they gonna do about it? What are they gonna do about it? What you gonna do?
To be honest though, like it's like, is it gonna make them play harder? No. Is it gonna give them maybe like an extra like something to talk about on the day? Yeah. But that's it. That's all it's gonna be. There's enough. There's enough in this rivalry for the last couple of years anyway. Like they don't like each other. They've already starting to build it up. We beat them the last time, so it's like there's already enough for that rivalry that's just gonna be an extra thing that they're gonna just say that day. It's not gonna make anybody play harder or anything like that. No, it's just gonna be, you know.
If we lose, it's my fault. You're already
yeah. Everybody's gonna say, "Damn Muppet."
I'm like, oh, I fucked up. It's my fault.
Yeah. But if I get one off you, Josh, I'm gonna say like that. Yeah, you blame it all on this. You blame all our losses for 25 years. It's not just this year. For 25 years, you're blaming this guy.
We're 10-2 in the last 12. Like, how much worse can we get? Like, come on. Like, grow up and get fucking real. Like, I don't know what to say. We won one with Derek Carr and one with AOC in the past fucking 6 years. Yeah. It's not going to make a difference.
Yeah, and that was all defense, too. Hold on real quick, guys. Raider Dev, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the fight.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, Dev.
No, Dev. Thank you for the $5, man. I appreciate you. It says, I appreciate you guys. We appreciate you. Showed up. Dev, if you're going to be in LA, let us know, and we're going to be out there and I'll bring a shirt for you or something. We'll figure something out, but appreciate you guys. But yeah, I just want to get that in. Sorry.
And cool kid. I knew you were gonna say this. It ain't like
I don't know.
AP.
Did he say that he didn't like it though? I just think that he's basically just said that they nipped it in the bud and basically they probably talked about it. They talked about it. You know what I mean? They talked about what they needed to say but he didn't. I don't necessarily think that. You know what I mean? That he didn't like it, but it's just, you know what I mean? It's something that, hey, you're gonna do that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just make sure you go out on the field and back it up, and you know what I mean. Just try to keep shit. But I don't think AP is gonna choose somebody out or anything for that. I think like everybody's saying on this panel, I just think it was blown out of proportion because it's something to talk about. You know what I mean? Like it's first day of camp. It was just something big to talk about because it's the Chiefs, it's the defending champions, Mahomes, and all of that shit. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna like. Bro, like I just don't think that it's going to affect the game to the amount that it's going to be like it's going to make us play any better or make them play any better against us. Like, is it some bulletin board material? Yeah, but hey, you can make anything bulletin board material, dog, nowadays. So it's like they're going to find something, whether it was this or not. They were going to find something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's just at the end of the day, I'm just, maybe you should watch yourself a little bit more, but maybe that's something that he told them to in that meeting. But I'm not gonna throw this guy under the bus for it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna throw nobody under the bus for it. I'm just like it was said in the fucking, you know what I mean, out of something joking around. But hey, fuck it. I mean, we're supposed to be that other team anyway, right? Isn't it the Raiders and everybody else?
It's the fucking Raiders. If people think some Mahomes doll's bad, like they're gonna be so fucking irate the first home game. The shit I'm bringing.
I can imagine.
Yeah, the nose again.
I would do wild shit. Like I do. Oh,
get ready, nation, because Josh.
I don't like to tell my plans, but like I already have. So like Merriman was talking shit to me, and I was clapping back at him and made fun of all of his domestic violence bullshit. If you saw that.
And he stopped.
Yeah, he stopped real fast.
The China comment, I seen that.
Yeah, but like shit like that. So it's just man, you got to go out there, you got to have fun, you got to talk shit. I mean, that's the thing. We haven't won in a very long time, so I go out there and I enjoy myself. And like you guys see me, like, have you ever seen me get in a fight on the field? Have you ever seen me like get into it with? No, because I'm not like that. I go out there, I talk shit, I have fun. And then, like, I'll have a beer with the other fans, shit like that afterwards, just chop it up and talk to people because I enjoy it. But you're there to have fun. Like, if I'm spending, fucking, $1,000, $2,000 a game to go to a game, I'm going to enjoy myself. I don't care what you say. And I'm going to do it respectfully. I'm not going to go out there and harass the team or harass players,
get in fights and
get in fights or like, I've seen people say like racist shit to players. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk shit. I'm going to be funny about it. And then I'm going to go home and I'm going to laugh about it the other day. But the fact that I spent $40 and they had to address it on media day is fucking just great. Best $40 I ever spent in my life.
Yeah.
I bet you anything, like he told them too, like, bro, like, I know you're a rookie. There's always going to be cameras around. You should know that. And just watch yourself. That's it. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what that's all it's about, dog. Like, you just got to watch yourself when all the cameras are on. It's the social media day now and age. Everything's gonna be caught on camera. Like regardless if he knew or not that it was gonna be caught on camera or not. Like I'm pretty sure like just nobody expected that out of nowhere, and then it happened. And then it's you don't want that to be the normal, of course, because obviously, like people have said, and I understand it to a certain degree. Like we haven't really fucking I guess fucking like. You want to like prove it on the field first before you talk like that. But fuck it, bro. Like at the end of the day, this is football, and we do model ourselves about not being like everybody else anyway, right? So fuck it. You know what I mean?
That's what AP wants. That's what AP wants. AP wants you to talk shit and go out there and fuck people up. That's what he wants. That's the mentality he's trying to bring. So talk it.
That's exactly what everybody is saying about Trey Taylor. So what's the difference from now, because he said that, to the expectations you had when he was picked?
Exactly.
Seventh round draft choice. What are the expectations? We have expectations so much on this kid, Josh, that he's gonna start over Morig. He's gonna start over Epps.
Yeah.
He's gonna hop over. He's gonna hop over Palomau. He's gonna beat out Christopher Smith. And all this stuff. And they threw Teamer. They put Teamer together. If Teamer was still there, probably would start over the kid too. Our expectations are so much on this kid. People from the academies can talk shit too. You know what I mean? Just because you go to an academy doesn't mean that you don't talk shit. He's a football player now.
Sometimes
he's a football player now, bro.
No, and that's like a fucking locker room environment too. That's like a locker room environment too. You ever heard the stories about the barracks and shit like that? Like all that shit, like bro, that's like a locker room environment.
He doesn't have to act a certain way because he's from the Air Force. Yes.
Yeah, and I was talking to him because I brought the Air Force helmet. I was like, man, I was like, I was like, this is really cool because my brother's retired Navy, and I was like, this is really cool. You really see service members get drafted, and the last couple players that got drafted out of the military, it's just it's been a while. I'm the first one drafted, and I have to look it up. X amount of years. This player was drafted, so it's really.
I know he was one.
Yeah, he's like, so it's really cool that I was drafted. I'm like, oh, he actually knows his history about the service and who was drafted. I'm like, that's cool, man. Like that's actually legit. That he appreciated the people that came before him, and he knows that it's not common for somebody that's from a service academy to get drafted. Because you got to remember, when he's done with the NFL, he still has to go serve 4 years. Like people forget that.
There's an option. There's options to do that, to go like reserves and shit like that, to where you won't do that. But there's options to where it's like, I know that if you become successful, music, so on and so forth, there's ways to do it respectfully to get out to where you still get under honorable conditions, like almost like a medical discharge in a sense. But regardless,
Space Beast led up right into it with the powwow $2.
Yeah, we gotta talk about camp.
That's what I'm saying, bro. There's a lot of stuff.
I got a question for you, Josh. I got a question.
Yes.
Okay, we're talking about, and I ain't gonna go to the main specifics. Okay, I wanna ask you this question. What I'm concerned with, and the quarterbacks is one of my main concerns, but Miller and Powers, the kid we got from Oregon that's going to play our left guard. What did you see in them just standing around? Are they, what are they doing as far as, not being in training camp? They say they're not. I know they're there. They're probably getting treatment. But did they do anything? Are you concerned with that? And who was their backups and who was doing well?
So Power, I didn't see him the second day. I didn't see Colton Miller. So I'm guessing they're both rehabbing. I will tell you. So basically the left side of the line is where we'll have the backups. So, oh my God, what's his name? Whitehair. And then we had Pete rotate in. And then they had
the tackle?
Yeah. And then they had Whitehair, Pete, and then they had Glaze and Meredith rotate in. Was mainly playing in right tackle though, like rotating out with Munford. But on that left side, they were getting fucked up. Like it was like the high school team going against the college team. It was bad. And the minute, and I specifically remember because Max Crosby usually plays on that side. They moved Max Crosby to the other side because he was beating the left tackle, almost every single play and breaking up the plays. And then they rotated Kuhnson, and the same thing was happening. Pete was getting beat, Whitehair was getting beat on a routine basis to the point where it's disrupting the offense and the flow. So if they are not healthy, there's a major problem on that left side. Yeah, but I got to give Munford props. So they were lining Munford on Crosby. They were putting Kuntz on Crosby or Kuntz on Munford, and then they were putting Wilson over there too and rotating him at a tackle. Munford is holding his own. He is doing the best he can. He's a big boy. Yeah. So they are gearing up to be the starter. They are having him do first round reps against all the defensive starters, and they're rotating different types of styles against him, and he held up pretty well. So that was the good part of it. The bad part was that left side of the line without those starters, it's going to be bad.
So who? I'm sorry. So they didn't have Glaze out there at all. Or
Glaze was doing Glaze. I think I saw Glaze left tackle a few plays. He was mainly doing right tackle. Glaze is the backup. Munford has that job. Just off the couple days I was there and watching him perform, that's his job.
Yeah, and that was the next question I was going to ask Darkside.
Yeah, Munford has that job. Yeah, he held his own. Crosby was going hard as he always does. What was happening on the left tackle side? Crosby would break the pocket down and then he'd stop because obviously you're not going to hit the quarterback. But it was forcing the plays to be broken down. If it was an NFL game, it would have been a sack, strip sack, or something worse. Could have happened, throwaway or something. But because it's OTAs, they let him continue the plays. So they'll get in their face and jump and shit. But on that left tackle side, Crosby was routinely breaking up plays, and it was bad. When they rotated Crosby to the other side, he was holding his own. Munford was doing good. So. Like I said, I didn't realize how big that dude is. He's like 6'6", 6'7", isn't he? He's big. Yeah. He's big. Glaze is massive too. So Glaze is going to be a couple years off, but I can see him rotating in and being an extra tackle. But he's a rookie. So, but other than that,
what about
quarterbacks go.
Dark side.
Yeah. Anything on Dalton Wagner? You see him out there at all?
I'm sorry, who?
Dalton Wagner.
The tight end?
No, he's a tackle. He's like 6'9" or something, like 7 foot or some shit. He's a big ass dude.
No, he wasn't out there.
See, people are sitting there saying, I've been saying that shit too. People have been saying like, "Oh, Dalton Wagner, we still got Dalton Wagner." Like, this motherfucker hasn't touched the field at all.
He would stand out. He would stand out in the crowd because he's 6'9", 3.
Yeah, he's the biggest. He'll be the biggest. Fucking.
What number is he?
I don't know. He'd be the biggest tackle out there. He's 6'9".
I can tell you right now, yeah. He's like 6'9", like 300 something real quick.
That's too big. He's not going to make it in the NFL. That's too big. It's going to be too slow, period.
6'8". He's 6'8", number 78. Is he number 78?
You'll play power.
Yeah, number 78.
So if you look at the roster on ESPN, you go to depth chart. I'm pulling it up right now. Dalton Wagner, 78. He is 6'8", 320.
He should have been number 78.
Yeah, 78.
Yeah, I didn't see him out there.
Yeah.
I did hear about on I think it was the second day or the third day where I guess I don't know if it was their third tight end.
What up, bro?
Who is it? Their third tight end. He's another dude he played for the Browns. He's pretty good too. But he dove for he made like an incredible catch in the end zone for a touchdown and shit like that. I think it was on 7-on-7 or something like that. I don't know what they were.
Yeah, Harrison Bryant. Yeah,
Harrison Bryant.
Harrison.
He's an athletic kid. He's athletic. He's very athletic.
Yeah, so he's a receiving tight end. I wouldn't say, I'm not going to say the same as Brock Bowers, but he's a receiving tight end. A little undersized. He's tall, but he's only weighs like 220, 230. He's not as big as the other players. I will tell you who's fucking huge. Zach Gentry. That motherfucker. Oh my god, he was as big as the lineman. He's like 6'7", 6'8" at a tight end. He is massive.
Yeah, 6'8", 265.
Yeah, he was the biggest player out there. Like he was eye to eye with the lineman. I'm like, dude, and I saw 88. I'm like, is that fucking Gentry? And
Mayer's pretty big too, no? Michael?
Who? Oh yeah,
Michael Mayer.
Okay, that's the thing. When you're 6'4" versus 6'8", that's a massive difference. Damn. Like that's just that's like me standing next to somebody that's 6'5". It's just you could tell. So you saw that, but the tight end, Bowers stole the show. Bowers is bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic than every safety out there. The cornerbacks are too small. That's exactly what we expected, and that's once I saw him getting reps with both quarterbacks. That's when I was like, gotta take my foot out of my mouth. AOC, this is AOC's job. It's AOC's job.
I was just about to ask that too. I was just about to ask.
So I haven't posted the videos of it. I haven't posted the videos yet. So here's how it looked. AOC.
What Muppet looks like? What Muppet looks like AOC, bro? We got to bring that out there. Get AOC.
Oh, yeah. I'll get the far Muppet.
It's fucking Ernie.
You'll be the chef. You'll be the chef, the one that go
that's you, Gravy. Don't be talking about my quarterback like that.
I don't talk like that, bro.
So AOC looked like the quarterback. Pocket presence, still slow, but he was moving around the pocket a little bit better. Stepping in his throws, his balls were crisp, and he's looked like he's put on some weight. So
yeah, he looks
bigger, stronger.
Nobody can touch him, Josh.
But he looks stronger.
So let me finish what I saw. So he was hitting the wide receivers in stride, and he was throwing the ball down the field. So and both him and Minshew were both working against the first defenses and working with the first and second offenses in rotation. So both of them were working in Adams. Both of them were working with Bowers. AOC has a better rapport with every wide receiver on that team and every tight end on that team. The only thing Minshew was better at was scrambling. Other than that, his balls looked flat. He didn't have much of an arm, and he was throwing picks left and right. So there was one series of block of plays. Minshew threw 3 interceptions, and 2 of them were 1,000% his fault. The receivers jumped on the ball. He doesn't have very much chemistry with this team yet. And as I was watching AOC throw the ball, AOC's throwing it more accurate, tighter spirals, and he's pushing it down the field, which Minshew wasn't doing. He was running for his life, and then he was throwing like these lame ducks. And there's one specifically. So he rolled out to the right, went up in the pocket, planted, and threw to Devante. And Epps read it, came over from the right side, saw his eyes, read it, and picked it off clean, like just read the play. And I'm like, that was Minshew's fault.
Oh yeah.
If he had a stronger arm, that ball would have got there. And there was another one where he threw it in the middle of the field. Yeah, he threw it in the middle of the field, and same thing. Somebody jumped on it, swatted it, and the linebacker intercepted it. And
Jacory Bennett, and I think it was Morig that intercepted it. Yeah. I read that day too. Yeah,
they're getting a jump on his ball. So if you're talking who looks like a quarterback, it's AOC. And I hate to say it because I'm like, Minshew's going to start. I was like, Minshew's going to start. Minshew's going to start. Unless AOC shits the bed in preseason, it's his job. It's his job.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It is. I want to say it's only week one, but hey, the zip on the ball and all of that shit. I mean, that's what I was hoping for AOC. Like the only thing I was saying to the pocket presence for him, like if that gets any better, that's gonna be AOC's job to fucking lose. But it's just you hear things and it's just, and then looking at him though, Grady, for sure, he's bigger and stronger.
It was funny watching because they had all 4 quarterbacks out there. They had, Gus Bradley's kid and then Anthony Brown.
How did Anthony Brown
saw the difference? Like shit.
Really? Interesting.
You don't get enough reps, bro. You don't get.
He throws the ball low and it looks rushed. Okay. So yeah, that's the same. You could see the difference between AOC and Gardner, and then you could see the difference between AOC, Gardner, and the other 2 quarterbacks. Like it was like watching a different class. And if they can protect AOC, it's his job. It's his job. He looked like what you would think a prototypical quarterback in the NFL would look like. That's what it looked like. He wasn't fast. He was moving up and down, but there was, again, that left side of the line looked like absolute shit. So
question, Josh. What was he doing? Side to side movement? Getting up.
That's where we were talking, because I was talking to some of the ESPN people there. You don't want to use a Tom Brady reference because nobody's Tom Brady. But how Tom Brady would just like swivel his hips, move a couple feet to the right, maybe move up.
All we need.
That's you could tell it was new to him, but that's what he was doing. He wasn't trying to run anymore. He was shifting, maybe making a step to the left and the right and get rid of the ball.
That's all we need.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
That's all we need. That's all I was asking for. That's all I was asking for, bro.
But Brady, we were telling you, why can't he develop it in the offseason?
The shifting, I'm not talking about the kid moving around doing bootlegs and shit, Gabe.
Yeah, he didn't.
No, so they were doing bootlegs with Minshew, not with AOC. AOC is not a bootleg quarterback. He should not be running naked boots. Like that's just not in his repertoire unless you're running heavy and then you kind of have him in a run defense and you can do it that way as a play action. But AOC was dropping back, and when he was throwing the ball 20, 30 yards down the field on a dime with a clean pocket like it was nothing. It was just his balls, even on when they had the net with the little square on it. Mm. He was drilling it in the square, rolling out, just bam, gone. So, he's probably put on some weight, put on some muscle, getting a little bit bigger and stronger. I don't think he needs to be faster. I think he needs to have more pocket presence and moving, shifting, knowing to throw away.
Yeah, bro. I ain't on that bag, man. I got my seatbelt on too.
Yeah, I was watching them both, and I'm like, I want Minshew to start, and I'm like, first of all, Minshew has some fucking, I don't know, tree trunks for legs, dude. I was like, that dude looks like a little fucking power lifter. Like his legs are jacked, by the way, and he's out there wearing booty shorts, but you could see the size difference, and you can see the arm power difference. Yeah, Minshew looks like a gunslinger.
Were they shorter than your shorts or what?
He had tights under his too. They all did. Some of their how are they going to put a guy at 6'8"? They put a guy at 6'8" in some medium ass shorts. I mean, I was like, what the fuck?
John, what do you think about? Because I've been hearing good shit about this guy, Dylan Lobby, man. How did he look in camp?
Fast. He looks fast. Side to side lateral movement, and his routes are crisp, and he is fast. He's not the fastest up and down guy, but when he's moving left to right and doing his cuts, he's fucking quick. And he's I wouldn't say he's bigger in person, but he looks more solid in person. And you can see the size difference between him and an actual running back. I'm going to call it. And I said this after I was watching practice, and I kind of thought it. I think Abdullah's going to get cut. I have no idea why he changed his number to 8. He looks like a Temu version of fucking Jacobs. But I think it's going to be White, Mattinson, and Dylan that are going to be our 3 running backs. They might run 4, but I think Abdullah is the one on the chopping block. Because we don't have
McCormick. Watch out for Sincere McCormick. Finally,
you're finally going to get a shot after 8 years.
Brent Brown coming. Watch out, Brent Brown's coming.
We don't have a true fullback on the team. That's the thing too. I don't even know who they're going to be rotating in at fullback.
That, my friend, is going to be.
And one more question, and I know that this one because these are the guys that I think that I've been trying to we can't keep an eye on them because the media is not allowed into or there's not too much film on actual plays of practice. Tyree, man, is there any improvement in his game?
They're putting him at defensive tackle a lot.
Is he getting off the ball quicker? Do you see him getting off the ball quicker, or do you see him just overall just better? Do you see him just being healthier? Is it better?
Yeah. He's a big boy, and you're seeing him work next to Wilkins. And when you have him, Wilkins, Kuntz, and Crosby, he is the probably odd man out when it comes to pass rushing. But he's going to be a big body in the middle, and he was getting a push. So he's working against James and Parham, who are both massive guard and center. They're probably 2 of the biggest guard and centers in NFL. Like I said, if you didn't know, James used to be a tackle when he was in college.
Yeah.
So he's massive for a center. He's huge for a center. So I think if he's going against quicker guys, he'll probably have more success. But he was getting off the ball and pushing people. And you got to remember, it's his second year in the league, too. He's going to get rid of that kind of dad bod. He looks like he put on a little bit more weight and muscle. I
want to hear that shit, Josh. I'm tired of hearing that shit about this dude, man.
But the thing is, it's now the focus is not going to be on him. I think it's going to be a good help. But, yeah, he looked good. He was getting pressure. Every one of our D linemen was getting pressure. Our D line is fucking nasty. And I will say they were rotating.
Was Wilkins a top tier, though? Was Wilkins top tier? Top tier.
Wilkins
just moving anybody around.
Wilkins.
Oh, Wilkins, yeah. Wilkins is
throwing dudes around.
Yeah,
different.
Throwing dudes around. Yeah.
Like I said, they had Crosby and Wilkins next to each other, and they were beating the shit out of that line.
Ooh.
And it looked bad. Like I was like, at the same time, I'm like watching them, like, oh, this is awesome, and then I'm like, oh shit, that's our offense. That's not good.
Yeah, right. When you have them on one side, literally, that's a disadvantage for any team because when you have them both on one side, you could double team one guy, but the other guy's gonna get a single team no matter what.
What they're gonna do, I can see what they're gonna do is they're gonna keep a tight end or a running back in for Crosby, which takes away a weapon right off the bat. That means you're gonna have more people covering because you're gonna have 6 people blocking 4. They're gonna do that most plays. Just watch,
and that means you're gonna have one-on-one.
Yep. You're gonna have a speed rusher and a speed defensive tackle, 1-on-1 with somebody, because they're not gonna do a max protect play. You can't do that in the NFL every play and expect to push the ball downfield. You can't block seven. It's not a thing. So I see a lot of teams. What they're going to do is they're going to have somebody on Crosby to double, or they're going to have a running back in there for pass protection, and they're going to chip the other side. They're going to do that. But at the same time, I mean, you're dedicating 7 people to blocking. That's an advantage right there, right off the bat.
So just play zone. You play zone with the double safeties, and you got it, man. You got it.
And that's what I was saying is, like, I knew that once that's going to happen, then what's going to happen is these, like, say Jack Jones is going to get better, because he even said it in the presser. Like, he's not even have to guard, because 3 seconds, they're right there. You're going to see Bennett get better. You're going to see all these other guys benefit from that.
I'll tell you a specific thing I saw. Morrig and Jones were talking shit to the offense, right? And I don't know which coach it was, but one of the coaches like, "You haven't done shit." He's like, "I didn't have to do shit. You can't even throw the ball my way." I was dying because he fucking yelled it back. And I don't know if it was Jones or Moore, because they were like, I was looking at the offense and they were back here, but it was one of them. And the offensive coordinator was like, "You haven't even made a play." And they were talking shit like, "We don't have to. The D line's doing the job for me."
Yeah. And I heard that, but the DBs are actually balling. Like that. Well, that was one of the reports that I read. But
how is Bennett doing, Josh? So just
he got right now. He's fast. So Bennett is going to be the third cornerback. It's going to be Hobbs, and then Jack Jones, obviously, and then Bennett's going to be that third guy. Last year he was rotating in, so I see him being the slot corner. Rotate Hobbs in the slot, or cover the number 1 if it's a slot wide receiver, and then kind of have Bennett, cover that other side. But there's a battle for the 4th cornerback. We got multiple people. Devonshire, excuse me. We got Devonshire, we got Smith, we got Richardson. Yeah, there's going to be a real battle.
Faison too, no? Faison too. I think Faison's out there too. No.
He still got shin splints, bro. He still got shin splints.
I think it's Bennett's jobs to lose for that nickel corner.
Great.
But Epps and Moore look awesome, because the thing is, it all starts in the front. Our front is causing issues, so the players are actually being able to sit back and just, hey, I'm going to react and I'm going to read the field and see what's going on, and they're doing that. But
another player that looks that sounds like they kind of want to see like him make a lot of improvement too. Palomao. How was he looking in that? Because I heard he got a pick too or something like that. No.
Yeah, but a lot of people get picks, dude. They're throwing plays. They're trying to force the ball in. I think we have too much. I think we have too much talent for him to make an impact on our team. To be honest, we drafted 3 defensive backs this year. 3. Mm-hmm. So it's like we're aiming for that nickel and that dime. We want somebody to plug in that's going to be good. So
it's going to be easier to run the dime and the nickel, because the simple fact is you can throw more speed on the back end, because that rush is going to be crazy. You still got John Jenkins. We still got who else we got? Who else we got on that line right there? We got John Jenkins,
Adam Butler,
and Matthew Butler. Yeah. And then
I'm hearing a lot about I'm hearing a lot about this guy McCall.
Yeah, him too.
This big boy McCall.
He was bigger. He was like 380, and he got down to like 350.
Yeah.
Did you know who he was, Josh?
Yeah.
He's on
but again, he's fucking 350. But here's the thing.
Depth chart, though.
Even young, he's a depth filler. We have too much talent. So you're gonna have Crosby, Wilkins, Jenkins is starting. He's gonna be the starting defensive tackle, but he only plays like 50% of the plays because he's so big.
30,
and you're gonna have Koontz.
33
Adam Butler, bro. Adam Butler is young still too, and balled last year. But remember, he had like the second most or the most sacks in the interior. Yeah. He had the most sacks in the interior defensive lineman. So he comes in when Jenkins is out. So you're gonna have a 6-man rotation without even trying, and to bring a 7th guy in just to kind of get some people some reps is gonna happen. But like Byron Young is buried on the depth chart. Like he's probably not gonna get very much playing time. Like Matthew Butler too.
So I think our D line is going to be a 6-man rotation, and then you're going to see people like Young, people like that kind of rotate in here and there, Butler and Young. But Yeah.
What about
Nesta?
Nesta, do you think Nesta could get cut this year?
Ooh, Nesta Jade too. Yup, that's another one.
Oh yeah.
Nesta Jade. So
he played a little bit. He was going to start
we had already cut him. Remember, they cut him and then they re-signed him from the practice to the practice squad again because they cut him, they let him go, and then they signed him like a week or two after. Re-signed him again to the practice squad. So he was hanging on by a thread as it is anyway. So, and I think the re-signing of Adam Butler, the re-signing of John Jenkins, the addition of Jenkins, a lot of these guys are going to be on the chopping block now, dog. You know what I mean? So it's going to be tough.
All these guys you're mentioning are probably practice squad players. They're going to be for when people go down for the IR. Because we kind of know who the 6 people that are going to make it are in the defensive line. Like we know for a fact 5. And then Butler's going to be that 6. So, like, from there, it's like, okay, who's the best? Who's going to perform? And so a lot of these guys are going to get cut. But at the same time, you know, when it comes down to depth, like, our defensive line is set. Like, there's not much we can do. Our real question is going to be quarterback and running back. You know, that's where our real issue is going to be. We got to see if Zamir White can do this. Mattinson's probably going to take some of the load off. He was out there, too. You know, he's a bruiser. He's not the biggest, not the strongest, not the fastest. He's that guy's going to get you 3 to 4 yards, you know. And last year he had, like, people don't realize, you know, he didn't have any touchdowns last year. Benson, he had no rushing touchdowns for a running back. That's alarming. That's alarming. So they don't take him out in the red zone.
We're giving Zeus all his credit. We're giving Zeus all his credit. And 4 games, and he only scored 1 touchdown. So
he had no rushing touchdowns, but he did have, like, I think 3 or 4 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, I believe. So Mattinson is a volume running back, and I mean that sounds bad, but at the same time, like, he just gets the ball in his hands, but he doesn't have breakaway speed, and he's not fast. He's not overly powerful, so that's why he's not that number 1 back in the NFL. Yeah. That's why Zeus has more tools to work with when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. So Zeus is going to get primary carries, but it's a good switch up, and then you're going to have your 3rd down back, you know, and Dylan. So I truly think Dylan's going to make the team as a 3rd running back and a 3rd down back because he's a better receiver than both those guys without even trying. It just depends if he can block. So we'll see if he can do that.
I've heard some good stuff about linebackers. I see this question about linebackers. I was hearing some good stuff about Eichenberg. Tommy Eichenberg. I heard them trying to use him on the kickoff. I heard that they were experimenting with him, Jones, and somebody, Masterson, at kickoff to try to do the kickoff play so they don't have to use a kicker. Because they're going to have to, now the kicker is going to have to defend. So it's going to be like, which they always did have to, but they sat back. But now with the new rules, they're just going to, it seems like, you know what I mean? It's almost like a hat for a hat, but they were experimenting. I know they were experimenting with Eichenberg as one of those guys. And I hear some good stuff about him.
I think Tommy looks like a standard, hey, I'm going to stop the run middle linebacker. So, like I said, our weakest spot was Luke Mattinson. I did not. I don't like the guy. I don't think he's good. So, yeah,
59, get out of here.
So I think Tommy's going to kind of roll over that. Right, you know, right now Luke is still getting the third linebacker reps. But at the same time, again, when you run those nickel package, you're probably going to have Diablo in there or Spillane in there because they're faster. So when you're on nickel and dime, if you want, you know, run a 4-2-5 or like a dime package with one linebacker, Mattinson's not going to be in there. So I think it doesn't really matter at this point. Like he's a filler, he's a sub player because you got to give people breaks. And I think Tommy's going to take a lot of reps away from him because Tommy's probably going to be a better player. Let's just be realistic. He was drafted where he was. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. He's fast enough. But he's a true, like, hey, I'm a Big 10, Big 12 middle linebacker. That white dude with a buzz cut that's going to hit you in the face. Like, that's what he is. We'll see how he covers. But he's probably going to be primarily like rundown back is what I see.
Yeah. See, for me, the only thing that I'm sitting there a little worried about the whole Devante Diablo thing, even though he was one of our number 1 tacklers, that new rule, and Diablo's usually catching players from behind. So that's where it's kind of a little scary right there because they can get us over the middle. I think Diablo takes bad angles because he takes angles like a safety because that's what he was. I think, you know what I mean, Aikenberg can kind of like, he's more of a traditional linebacker to where he knows what gaps to cover and whatever or not, to where Diablo had to. And so Diablo's kind of our speed guy in coverage, but then Spillane wasn't doing not too bad in coverage as well. But a lot of it's going to be like those tackles from behind. And now that since that rule change, that might hurt us in the long run. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like a little iffy. I'm iffy on like us bringing in another linebacker, bro. Like when they're talking about bringing in, was it Demario? What's his name? Gabe?
David.
Demario Davis.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I was for that because he's a little bit older, but he's better in coverage though. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, I guess more of an all around type linebacker.
He's older. Now he's not a little older. He's older.
Yeah, well
34 years old.
Well, I mean, from a 46-year-old, I can't be calling a fucking 35-year-old old.
You know what I'm saying?
He's old for football.
He's old for football. He's football old.
And for a linebacker, but he had a good, very, very good year last year still. You know what I mean? As a 34-year-old still. So, I mean, the production was there last year still. So, like, unless it fell off a cliff, then you still are going to get some production out of there if they could find a way to get him here. But I still, towards the end of last year, they were using a lot of, in nickel coverage and shit like that. They were using more of Hobbs as that kind of, that linebacker, kind of like hybrid. Hybrid is kind of like linebacker / DB type shit. Anyway, you know what I mean. So and he played a damn good job at it. You know what I mean. So I still think that like when if it's broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean. And Hobbs looks like he's willing to take that type of role. But you do want another linebacker, of course, to emerge, because if you could have if Tommy could be that guy, and then you could have Tommy and Spillane on the field at all times, and they're actually both out there and being high productive players at linebacker. That's what you want. You know what I mean? At least having two guys out there that are just studs, because that's just gonna make your defense as a whole better now, because tight ends are used a lot in this day and age. And if you can get some linebackers that can cover, that's big time nowadays, because these tight ends ain't the same shit anymore. They're not just used for blocking. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing, like if you look at our linebackers, you have Diablo, who's like 220 pounds. He's like 222 or something like that. Yeah. And then Spillane's like 225. Tommy's 240 plus. Like that's a big difference. Yeah, like he's a true linebacker. Like we don't have a true linebacker. So Diablo was a safety in college. Spillane was an undersized linebacker for a lower end school in college, and was primarily a special team and rotational player. We fall in love with people, but there are better options out there at linebacker, and I think we really need to address that to make our defense step up to the next level. Yep. Either Spillane or Diablo sooner or later needs to be replaced. Somebody getting tackles doesn't mean they're good. We had one of the worst run defenses in the NFL last year with an amazing defensive line, because once our defensive line, takes up those blocks, those linebackers weren't taking the right angles. They weren't getting the tackles. Mm-hmm. They were getting pushed around because they're small. You can't have a cornerback like Hobbs, as good as he is. He's a slot and a run-stopping cornerback. You can't have him playing linebacker every play. It's not realistic. Right. Like they need some run-stopping linebackers.
Or Palomalo too.
But we don't really have
Palomalo in there. People say throw Palomalo in there. He can do it. No, he can't, bro. He can't take on offensive guards pulling. He can't do that. It's like Diablo.
We need a linebacker. Like that's all there is to it. Like we need to get another linebacker.
I'm never going against getting a linebacker though. That was my position in high school too. I'm never going against. So if we can go get a stud, shit, let's go do it. Shit.
Yeah, that was kind of good. For me, bro, like you were mentioning a little bit about running backs. My two biggest things that I'm really, really looking at overall on both sides of the ball now, because the offensive line, I've already had a feeling it was going to be like that. But my two biggest things on the side of the ball is like I wanted Cam Akers as a running back to be a different kind of back that will actually
he got signed.
He got signed, right? You know what I mean? But like I thought he would be a perfect fit for the Raiders. You know what I mean? Great player, little injury prone, won't get the ball that much, but it'll be a good change of pace compared to Zamir. But then also our linebackers. I like Diablo, man. I really, really do. The name, the style, the way he plays, but the bad angles. I'm saying he's quick. he's quick for being a linebacker, but he's not the linebacker that the Raiders fucking really need, bro. Like overall, like I really fucking feel we need another linebacker. So those are the two different things that I need, because like you said, bro, like we can't have Hobbs fucking over the middle and also coming in and fucking taking out these running backs, unless they're coming to the outside or whatever not, and he's on that side and breaking tackles and getting to him, tripping up the running backs in the like on a sweep or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I see him doing that because you have to fucking tackle regardless. But our linebackers is kind of thin, and we were thinking that what's the name was going to do pretty good, Amari Burney, but he's nowhere to be found. So
again, same thing. Undersized linebacker.
Too small.
Yeah.
Undersized.
But Tommy can make it. Like if he's getting some talk already, and it's barely early in camp, hey, he can, and hopefully he can make a name for himself. But like even further himself up in the depth chart. So I think Eichenberg could be, maybe he's gonna take a lot of reps. Like Josh said right now, bro. Like I think I see him taking a lot of reps, especially when we play like a traditional, like especially like on first, second downs and shit like that, where they're like almost obvious running downs. Like I can see him taking a lot of snaps away from Masterson.
The only that's the thing. Like there's not very many good linebackers left. There's pass pressure. Shaq Leonard's available, but he's been hurt the past 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Zach Cunningham, like that. Like you're talking like true linebackers. You have Zach Cunningham, who's the starting linebacker for the Eagles last year. Other than that, like it's slim. It's slim pickings right now.
But shout out Raiders Rebel. He did make a point, and he's saying, "Why is everybody worried about the linebackers when we're gonna run an awful? We're gonna run like a 4-2-5 defense."
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
Not all the time. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Traditional first and second down. Like I'm with Josh. Like I think that Eichenberg is going to end up taking a lot of snaps away from Masterson anyway. So when we do play a traditional 3 linebacker set, you know what I mean, like a 4-3, you know what I mean. So it's like I see him taking a lot of snaps by mid-season anyway. I see Eichenberg really seeing a lot of those first down plays, especially when they're kind of obvious rundowns.
What's up, Omar? So Josh, what is your main concern? What is your main concern on this team? Being at the coverage you got and what you were focusing on over there in camp, what is your main concern of groups that we have out there?
If our offensive line's not healthy, we're going to be in some real trouble. We're not going to have a run game. We're not going to have a pass game. So we still need that. And then, if we're talking about the linebacker thing too as well, depending on how Tommy does, we had one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL last year. Yeah. That's why I'm worried about linebackers. That's why. We didn't have one of the worst pass defenses. We had one of the worst run defenses. That's how we lost games. People were just able to run the ball over and over again on us with those two linebackers. So, but to me, it is definitely that left side of the line without Powers and Miller. And the fact that they're missing OTAs and they're not getting reps, and learning how to be a cohesive unit, that's some real problems right there. Because when when offensive linemen get hurt and you run multiple starters, you give up more sacks. Like that's just what happens. You see these teams that, oh, hey, there's, they had 7, 8, 9, 10 starters this year because this guy was out this week, this guy was out that week. Those teams give up a lot of sacks and they have poor rushing performances. So that is the main concern, that they're already banged up. Powers was the shoulder, correct? And Colton Miller was the ankle. Yeah, I remember correctly.
No, both of them are shoulders.
Well, he's coming off surgery from a shoulder. He's coming off surgery from a shoulder.
Colton's coming off. He had 2 procedures in this offseason. 2 shoulder procedures this offseason, which I think he's still kind of getting back from that. I think they kind of like the timetable was maybe a little too close. The second procedure was a little too close to like actually OTA. So I think they're still kind of holding on. Like I was saying the other day, as long as I see him at some point in camp, you know what I mean? I'd rather see it sooner rather than later. But especially for Powers, I want to see him in here sooner rather than later because he really needs to get cohesive with this line. You know what I mean? Like, because he's a rookie, he's trying to work in. You know what I mean? And I do see a lot of potential in him, but you know what I mean? You want to see him out there to see what he could actually do against, our defensive line and shit like that. You know what I mean? Can he hold his own? But you don't want to rush him out there if he's still hurt. But that's concerning. Like hopefully he can that injury is just already healing up and it's closer rather than later.
One more, Josh. One more, and then I'll get out your way. What rookie you see out there that's going to get significant playing time from the jump?
Powers is a fucking killer, dude. Like, I know a lot of us weren't happy with the pick. Yeah, Bowers is a matchup nightmare. He was toasting veterans. Like, he was beating safeties. He was beating cornerbacks. He is going to be a absolute nightmare out there because of his speed and his agility at tight end. Because it's either you're going to have somebody that's faster and small, that whole thing. A linebacker's too slow, a safety's too small, cornerback's too small. They're not physical enough. So he's going to be a matchup nightmare. And the fact that he's running post-corner routes against a top defense and scoring and getting open and getting separation and getting hit and getting behind defenses shows, one, people are underestimating how fast he is and then how good he can be. So he's
getting behind linebackers. He's getting behind linebackers and safeties off the jump.
He got about a 20, it's probably 25, 30-yard post corner. Beat everybody. Ran a post. Outran, got behind Epps and Morrig and caught a touchdown. So like I was like, oh shit. Like he's good.
There ain't a lot of tight ends going that deep, especially on a route.
Yeah. No. So he ain't
regular.
No. Yeah, were they playing red zone? Was it red zone, or was it half the field, or was it like what were they?
They were doing. I think it was. They started about 40. So it was like the markers were hard to see. So it was anywhere probably about 30 yards or so.
Okay,
but so he was getting open. That's thing. Like we see all these big plays. Like he's getting open 10, 15 yards on the field, and if he gets hit, he's getting open.
How did our offense look in the red zone?
It looked like a power offense. It was a power offense. It was we're going to line everybody up, we're going to smash, and then and Meyer were getting open. So it was there was probably less passes to Adams than I would like to see, but it was more safety valve orientated. But the thing is, the safety valves were open. That's the difference. Meyer and Bowers were open. And then on that note, Jacoby was running his routes just like he normally does. He's going to get 800 yards this year. It just depends how much Adams gets hit. But Trey Tucker is the third wide receiver. He's fast. Yeah. He looks fast out there. So he has that third wide receiver unlocked. Yeah.
He looks stronger. He's always been fast, but he looks stronger. He looks like he's on a mission. So do you guys? So is it still in Costa Mesa this week?
They
got 16 days in Costa Mesa.
I have to look because I have tickets for the camp and I was supposed to go in the 3rd, but we're doing a thing in the Bay Area, so I can't go. But I'm going to camp in Henderson, so that'll be fun. It'll be 130 degrees out there.
Because I know Tuesday they start hitting, so that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, they actually put pads on. Yeah. So I was like, man, because I got asked like, hey, I got an extra ticket. You want to go to the 3rd? I'm like, I can't. I got to be in Oakland. I was like so sad, but I know I'm on their shit list right now, so I probably should just stay away for a couple weeks.
Well, I mean, but see, I don't think you're on the shit list, bro. I think it's more along the lines of that, like, I don't see it.
I think it's more like, hey, as long as you're chill, for a while. Let's
Look at D-Mo. Look at D-Mo. Fucking D-Mo's got Kermit.
I was telling people, like, if you're on Instagram, YouTube, they know exactly who you are. If you think the Raiders aren't watching your shit and checking up on your stuff, they are. And I've heard that from people that directly work at the Raiders. And so I got, some messages, and they're like, no, they know who all of us are. I'm like, really? They're like, yeah. They have a social media team that looks at everybody's shit because they want it. Yep. And I understand.
Free. Like if you guys need any insiders, let's go.
But it's at the end of the day, like, you don't want to be a distraction. So obviously I'm not going to take that thing into camp again because I'm going to get kicked out if I do. I already know that. So I'm like, I can't do that. I'd rather be there than.
I think it's more that as long as you keep it cool, it should be cool because you've been a supporter and a Raider fan, diehard Raider fan, fucking super fan now, dog. You know what I mean? Forever. So it's like it's been forever, dog. So I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just like everybody. You know what I mean? Like he made a mistake that day, or like if it's not necessarily like a mistake that you took a thing because like I said earlier, you didn't know that shit was gonna happen. But Like I'm pretty sure they're thinking the same thing. As long as he keeps it cool, we're good. They're gonna kick you out.
Well, I got in trouble. Yeah, I got a shit list.
Can we say that Josh is a super fan, like Go and Go Raider?
No, you know what? See, listen, but we were kind of talking.
Can we say that, bro?
I wouldn't say you're a super fan.
Silver hood.
Yeah, but the silver hood, bro. Like
I got more. No, I'm going all out this year. So I had a bunch of costumes made for me this year. So I'm doing different shit almost every week. And I got one that I was messaging my buddies. I'm like, I showed him my costume and I was like, it shits on everybody's. And they're like, what the fuck? I'm like, I had a professional cosplayer make this for me to my measurements. And they're like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah, it's badass.
I gotta check it out, bro. When we get on the show, you gotta let me know.
Is it the White Ranger, bro? We
White Ranger, the White Power Ranger.
RaiderNationLive, bro. White Ranger, there he is, right there.
The White Ranger, the Black Ranger.
We were bullshitting a little bit, right? Not talking behind your back, but we're like, dude, Josh doesn't need a dress up. You're just fucking recognizable. You're just like Josh, bro. Like that's the whole thing, the GOAT. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, even though you're doing that, I know it's for fun and it's like kind of like the mystique of the Raiders, and like you have everybody, bro. There's so many like different people, like Violator, Raider Wolf. There's Power Raiders. There's the Raider Royals. There's Captain Jack. There's what I mean. There's all these different super fans, bro. And it's like, oh, Mob Boss. You know what I mean? Shout out Mob and all them. You know what I mean? There's all these different characters, but it's like you're kind of like you get recognized without this stuff too. So it's like
when I dressed up, people didn't know it was me for the first time. I took my hat off, so it was like, oh fuck, Josh. I'm like, what's up, man? Like, I had no idea.
Josh can put anything on. Josh can put anything on. I'll know it's him because he's probably have some flip flops on or something like that with the costume. Yeah, he probably has some. He probably has some flip flops on. Go down that tattoo right there. That's Josh.
Yeah,
he's a tattoo Raider, man. Tattoo Raider from the front to the back and everything, bro. Tattoo Raider right there.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be a cool season, man. It's just I think I'm ready for this year. I'm excited for this season. Been more excited because I think just because of the change and all of that shit, I'm pretty sure that's the biggest reason. But I just see, bro, like you say, like if AOC just gets a little bit, those little parts of his game, kind of sort of, and I'm not saying be perfect or anything like that, but I think the offense has plenty of weapons, and of course, like you guys are saying, that is a big worry, the offensive line. Of course, you want them to be healthy because without that, the offense is going to struggle, of course. But if those two things, bro, like I think if the offense gets going, this defense for sure, like to me, I've said it since last year, and especially the day that we signed Wilkins. This defense is gonna be for real, dog. Like it just for them even giving us the respect of, which I didn't even expect that. Like I really didn't expect us to even pre-season rankings to even rank us in the top 10, even though they like it's pretty kind of noticeable. You know what I mean? But even to rank us in the top 10, like I think they can't. It's undeniable, like that we have a good defense. I think we're better than even 9 where they have us ranked. But like I think this defense with the front four that we're the pressure that we're gonna put. It's going to be it's going to be a pretty good special year, dog, for the Raiders on the defensive side for sure. And the offense, man, I just think that we have with the weapons. Can we put it together? That's it.
My question is,
we got hope.
Go ahead.
I was saying we got hope. I was just saying we got hope this year. That's it. We got hope.
So exactly. you did mention something, bro, and like we've talked about it too. Did you get a chance to watch the receivers with Devante Adams and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay,
I watched all that.
So there's that, and then right after that, there was the Club Shay Shay interview, and then all his media stuff that he was doing. And you mentioned something that because Bowers was open that he was kind of just like throwing either Minshew or what's the name AOC was throwing that way. You know what I mean? His safety valves or whatever. And Devante's known, and he even stated that I need to get my 1,000 yards. I'm the only receiver that's been doing this so many years consistently. Like, I don't see him not getting his 1,000 yards. But I remember also, and I kind of want to push back on you a little bit because a lot of people are saying that he should get traded. He should do this. They should do that. We're worried about the money. So you had stated that overall next year going into it, that $44 million, even though all of his money is guaranteed and he got all that money, you have made a little video saying that you would the Raiders might end up trading him or have to restructure him, but you were more along the lines of trading them, letting them go, do whatever, take that hit, because it's going to be so much money on that side of the ball, right? Especially with everybody getting these big old contracts and whatever not, and Devante getting older, you know what I mean? You mentioned the two things as far as him getting less yards and him possibly being traded. And with the receivers and how all the media kind of just like flooded, like, get rid of him. With the whole situation, as a Raider fan and not really worried about the cap, what do you see for Devante Adams, bro, like moving forward? Because I'm just basing off what you had said.
I think the cap has a huge impact because you have a 32-year-old wide receiver making $45 million a year. So the money's not entirely guaranteed if you trade him. So we have $21 million in dead cap space. So we have about 7 per year. Next year, if we trade him, it goes to $14 million over 2 years, or we're paying him 120. So you gotta, it's all becomes down to numbers. Like, is he worth that 120 million? Or is it worth to take the hit and get some picks and try to draft some new guys? So I said this year, there's no fucking way we're trading him. It's not going to happen. We're trying to make a run for the playoffs. That's a suicide mission. Not going to happen. Next year, I said if they're going to trade him next year, it would be most likely, or they're going to have to restructure his contract and give him at the back end and kind of pay like the Saints do. You do with dividends where you pay now, or you restructure to get the player now, and you pay him 5 years down the road, and you're fucked. So, because we don't have a huge window. Like, this defense is only going to be together for 3 to 5 years. That's all we got. Yeah. After that, players are going to be paid too much. They're going to leave. They're going to retire. Or they're going to be out of their prime. Right. Yeah, be out of their prime. So,
that's if our defensive coordinator don't get a head job. You know, if that defense plays the way it does, Patrick Graham's gone.
So, if they do, obviously, even at 32, 33, he's probably a top 10 wide receiver. People were mad because what was he ranked, like 7th this year or something like that? 5 to 7.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you, Justin Jefferson's better. Like, at this point in time, I was like, and people were like, "Oh, you're fucking fake." I'm like, no, that's like me saying Mahomes is better than AOC. Like, it's just true. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like it's saying like, oh, Jerry Rice was a better receiver than Adams. Yeah, that's real. So if we keep him for the next couple of years, like I don't know how to say it, but like I would prefer him to stay. But I think they're going to have to do some major restructuring of his contract because you're not going to win paying somebody $40-50 million a year at wide receiver. That's not going to be as productive as they are when they're in their mid-20s. Like, that's just realistic.
Yeah. So let me double back on that question.
What if he's Superman, bro? What if he's Superman and still doing it? What if he blasts out 16, 15, 1,400 yards?
That's the main question. Because that's the main question.
You're going to be able to.
All of this, when your deal's coming up, when a career, like when you're older and all of that shit, it all depends on productivity. If he comes out and he balls out, I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy to re-sign him, dog, or give him some, give him some incentives or try to extend him or do something. But like if he comes out and he just shows like, say like, it's even a little less production or something like that, then you gotta at the end of the year. That's why they say you evaluate at the end of every year. You know what I mean? You got to evaluate every player, no matter who they are. You know what I mean? They could be stars one year, and if it just not that same player the next year. So it's just I don't expect it from him. I expect him to still ball out, but it's all going to be based on production. Like if he falls off a little bit more, and with his age, you got to take everything into account. With the number and all of that shit too. Like you gotta be also too like some of the smarter teams that have done it before too. Like you got to be able to get rid of those type of players. Before it ends up costing you end up just dishing out a contract because it's just because you feel like you deserve, like you owe it to the player or something like that, like and it's not based off his productivity. You always want it to be based off productivity because like at the end of the day, that's football. Like as much as we don't like it, like you can't be like, oh fuck man, he had a great year for us 2 years ago, like They should pay him this year. Like, nah, like if he shows 2 straight years of like, like obviously this last year wasn't like his first year with the Raiders, and it's even, a little bit worse this year. I mean, you obviously have to take a look at that. That's all I'm saying. But I don't expect
look at the plethora of quarterbacks he had, Gabe. He had what 5 quarterbacks throwing to him. He still got 1,000 yards at 30-something years old.
That's why I'm.
And then the year before that, he had his way with them.
So I love numbers.
Where's the drop off? Where's the drop off to even discuss this shit? It's like
no. I'm gonna give you the drop off. I'm gonna give you the drop off for the entire NFL. How many wide receivers last year in the NFL over 30 had 1,000 yards? Just guess.
Probably one.
No, DK's 30. DK's 30.
No.
It probably was Cooper.
No.
Mike Evans.
Cooper didn't have 1,000. Cooper was hurt. Mike Evans, Devante Adams. That's it. That's the only 2 wide receivers in the entire NFL last year over 30 had 1,000 yards.
And why are we the only team with a receiver like that talking trade the dude? You don't hear Tampa Bay saying trade Mike Evans.
We're not trading him. We're just saying
trade him. We're saying if he takes another year. But what I'm saying though, like even what I'm saying right now though, I'm not saying trade him right now because obviously you want him to be the guy with this team because when we talk about weapons on this team and to be able to make a run on any team like that, you're gonna need a receiver like that. You're gonna need a number 1 receiver like that. But what I'm saying is that
I can even dive deeper.
What I'm saying, I'm just gonna finish my thought. Like what I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, like I see AOC getting better. So that's what I mean by if you see another like if you see him to lose a step because AOC's game is probably going to be a little bit better. So you should naturally see Adams' game be a little bit better, right? Like you're going to probably see Adams, statistically probably be a little bit better. Like it just naturally you're going to think it's going to be better because AOC's game is going to improve. The coaching, the offensive coordinator is going to be better, like just all of that stuff. So that's why if you see if you see his statistics be worse than last year, then you got to be like, okay, then maybe it's a step. But that's why I say, that's why I always want to finish with, I don't see that because I do see AOC getting better and I do see him having better numbers. I see them actually probably at the end of the year even asking him to come back and probably even extending him or something like that because he might have a better year or just have a great year. But that's all I'm thinking about that. I'm just saying you have to evaluate every player at the end of every year. So if he has a worse year, you just got to evaluate it. It's a big number, $45 million for a receiver. It's a big number if it drops off.
I see. He said something in one of the interviews, bro. Josh, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to get this off a week. He said something in the interview. He goes, I want to see other receivers get paid. He goes, this is the second time I'm getting paid because he's already got paid a good amount for his second contract. This is his third contract getting paid. So I can see him breaking down if he wants to stay a Raider and retire a Raider overall. You know what I mean? That's what I think. But you were going to say something, Josh, as far as the deep dive?
I was going to say, if you look at the wide receivers in the NFL that are over 30, by the time they're 32, 33, they're out of the NFL. So, and that's across the board. That's like Julio Jones, all these top tier talent, Hall of Fame players. By the time they're 32, 33, they're done. Yeah. Adams has a couple years left, and that's it. Like Father Time always wants. And this thing, not saying he's done his career wise. Like he can get 700-yard years, 800-yard years, things like that. But if you really look at it, like remember how good Adam Thielen was, and I'm not saying he's fucking
right.
He's not Devante Adams, but how good of a slot, and how good of a slot wide receiver he was. That makes a difference. So as you get older, it's less and less likely for you to have those 1,000-yard seasons, and that's going to happen to Adams just like it happens to everybody else. Mm-hmm. So it's common for wide receivers to have 1,000 yards, like 25. Usually it's between 20 and 30. Almost every team has one, but at the same time, Father Time always wins. So as you get 30, 31, 32, 33. Once you hit, and this is the other thing with running backs too, like once you hit 33 as a wide receiver, your career is pretty much over. Like you're not going to improve. Just like a running back at 28, they go down. So when people are signing 29, 30-year-old running backs, I'm like, no.
Hopefully he could be a fucking, an anomaly, like, like a Jerry Rice type, but those are a dime a dozen. But I mean, if anybody has a chance at it, I would say DA does, just because of his game, the way it is, with his positioning, kind of plays almost like a tight end type where he could play like a power forward type, he'll use his body, his route running skills and shit like that, and his smartness too. But like I said too, like I'm pretty sure he would agree too. Like he doesn't want to see his numbers go worse. He does not want to see his numbers get worse. Like I bet you he believes that his numbers should be way better than they were last year. You know what I mean? Especially with, I think, the added confidence that he has with AOC and all of that shit. Like, there's no way that he thinks that his year is going to be worse. And that's all I'm saying. If there's a reason why his year is worse or something like that, and that's what, and you evaluate at the end of the year and you see that, you know, maybe he lost a step, because like Josh is saying, bro, like, he's already at that age where at any time, some guys just, and it's not unnecessarily, it's not like it's unheard of, where guys just are good 1 year, they'll have a great year 1 year, and the next year they'll have a 600-700 yard season because they're dealing with injuries. You know what I mean? Like they didn't deal with earlier in their career. You know what I mean? Like, it's like some shit, just like the little injuries from their, you know, like an ankle linger for fucking weeks instead of a week. You know what I mean? So it's like when you're getting older, it's just different, bro. And that's all I'm saying. You just gotta evaluate everything at the end of the year. But I believe in DA. If anybody could do it, it's gonna be DA, dog. Because I mean, he's a smart player. He knows how to take care of it. It looks like he knows how to take care of his body. He's never really been hurt. You know what I mean? And pause on that shit. I mean, I don't know how fucking, but you know, it's just. I'm just saying that, like, it's just you've never seen a big problem with him in injury. Like you even see last year where it would take most players out with this, you know, with the shoulder shit. You know what I mean? The sprain. You know, when he got that AC, the shoulder sprain and that hit, or Jimmy G fucking set him up. You know what I mean? You've seen that him still play through it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he's that's what I was saying. If anybody could do it, I would say him. But I'm just saying, you always got to evaluate. But you can't just say just because he's been what he's been, we can't be like, we can't just, that can't be a reason why we can't talk about trading him. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I obviously we don't. Obviously nobody does, because like I've seen it in the chat. Everybody say like, damn, we're going to trade our best players. We can never have nothing nice. Obviously we want that. You know what I mean? We want that. But we also want them playing at their best too. We don't want just a player for their name. Right, like that's a problem that we've had a lot in the past, where we get players at the end of their prime or something like, and we're still paying them like they're these stars, but they're not what they used to be. You know what I mean? We're bringing their players over. You know what I mean? But I don't see that in DA. But that's just all I'm saying. We always gotta keep that in mind.
But there is father time, and that is true. But you know, we're just looking at DA as a different beast, bro. But
I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier. Because I was looking at my fucking notes. It was over 31. So over 30, there was 4 people. Because I remember once you get to 31, there was only 2, and then over 32, there was 0 that had 1,000 yards. So it was 4 wide receivers last year, not 2.
Oh, Keenan Allen.
I want to correct myself because I don't want people to record my shit. Yeah, it was Adam Thielen.
I was looking right now.
Yeah. No, Thielen and Allen both had 1,000 yards. But yeah, over 31.
DeAndre Hopkins is over 31.
Yeah. He had 1,000 yards last year?
Yeah. DeAndre Hopkins, 1,057 yards, 2023.
Yeah, that 57, bro.
And then there's Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, 1,250 yards.
So Amari Cooper was not 30 last year. He was 29.
29, yeah.
Okay, DK Metcalf, isn't he 30? 31?
No, he's 30. This year,
he's going to be 31.
Yeah. 1,114 yards.
So he was 29.
He turned 30 in the offseason. Yeah, he turned 20. He turned 30 in the offseason.
Yeah,
but Scary Terry, I don't know how old Scary Terry is, but I've been seeing him play for him.
Like I think they're all. The thing is, though, it's just but like it said, like DeAndre Hopkins compared to what he was, 1,057. You know what I mean? That's not 1,700 yards or what he used to have. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like you see him losing the step. That's why you see him kind of going from team to team.
Yeah.
But you obviously see his type of player, like his type of like I compare him, like I see a DA being a little bit like a better version of him, where he's a hands dude. He knows how to use his body. He knows how to run routes. That's why I could see DA maybe lasting a little longer too, because those are the type of guys that know how to use their body positioning more than their speed and their athleticism more than that. You know what I mean? They're more of like, they're gonna know how to position themselves. You know what I mean? They're gonna have, you know, certain like DA was mentioning in the Shannon Sharp shit. Like he's gonna never let you think that you have him covered. You know what I mean? He's gonna run a comeback when you thought you had it covered. You know what I mean? Just so he can throw you off and shit like that. So I just think like those type of players that are savvy like that last a little longer. They're like, traditionally too. Like anyway, like you've seen that shit before. Because Jerry Rice, as much as he was, explosive, he was a smart ass player too, and that's why he lasted so long too. And there was just different pedigree back in those days too. That's another thing. But like, I could see DA doing that, but we gotta be careful with it. That's all.
Yeah. So I got a couple questions, bro. Before we move on, go ahead and say whatever you got to say, bro. And then I got these 2 questions so we can talk about it.
I think
DK is 26.
I think the DA. I think the
Shout
DA.
That's Ben.
Trade should stop. He hears that shit.
Yeah, I don't think. But
we're gonna restructure that contract for the cap. So let's go knows what he's doing, dude.
Yeah.
He already got his guaranteed money.
He cares, bro. I don't think he cares. I think he might be hearing it, but he don't care. He knows that he's going to ball out this year. And that's all I'm saying. Like I'm just saying what's going to be like shit that if it doesn't happen, of course, but it's obvious that's gonna have to be looked at. Like if any player loses a step, it's going to be evaluated at the end of the year. But that's what I'm saying, that you got to be careful with all of those guys because they are at that technically that age where guys just sometimes just start losing steps out of nowhere.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. But no, I just want a quick question because when Josh mentioned the whole thing about the restructure and everything like that, I know it probably got hate for that shit. But
and we got Jacoby.
Yeah. Well,
Jacoby's a baller,
right? But he's gonna have to get paid too. Remember, he's undrafted. He hasn't got his first payday.
He had a 3-year deal, right? No, Jacoby had a 3-year deal. Got a 3-year deal, right?
Jacoby got a friendly discount. Like he's undervalued and underpaid. And that was one of the things I was like, yeah. When we signed all of our players, I said Jacoby's the best contract we got because of how undervalued his contract is. Right. And if you look at the player versus the
11 million, like a year or something like that, like I feel like 3 year, 33 million or something like that.
But if you look how much wide receivers get paid versus how much he gets paid, he got a 3-year 30 million or something like that. So you got like 10 or 11 a year, which is that's fucking nothing. His cap hits $9 million. Like there's wide receivers that are fucking garbage that are getting paid 10 to 15. So
yeah, exactly.
There's a website. Fuck, what is it? I think it's Sports Track. It's really cool. There's a website that shows what they get paid and what they should get paid and what their actual value is. I'll have to find it again. But it was the coolest thing because it showed, hey, this is what other receivers or other quarterbacks put up the same numbers, other running backs. This is what their numbers get paid and this is what they get paid. And it averages out and says, hey, they're under market or they're over market. And then it kind of gives you a grade. But like when he got his contract, like, $10 million for the top slot wide receiver in the NFL, like, one of the best. That's going to get you 800, 900 yards every year. I was like, 1,000% take him. Because we had no number 2. Like, we needed him.
So a lot of the players besides the star players.
Big season from Jacoby Myers. I expect.
Yeah, go ahead, Greg. I'm sorry.
I expect him to have a great year, Jacoby.
Oh yeah. What I was going to say is, if you really, really look at our team now, it's the way it's structured with the extra money that we got, the money that we earned in the last couple of years, whatever or not. We're starting to become like one of the normal roster type of players. We got young players that are coming up that want to get a name for themselves. They got to play at a cheaper level. We get somebody like a Jacoby Myers that's cheap but very, very effective. You got some of the overpaid players, which people are talking about, like Devante Adams. You got Christian Wilkins. You got Mad Max that's coming up. But then we also got AOC, which is making under $1 million a year. But then we got a backup that's got a $25 million contract. So once everything starts kind of like settling in and stuff like that, people are going to get cut. Money's going to get moved around. A lot of these players are going to have to get paid because if we have a winning season, because we haven't had a winning season in a while. So once we get that, then that's where people are going to be like, all right, let's go. Let's start doing stuff. Jacoby Myers is going to want some more money. We got to pay Hobbs, Epps, and Merrick. You know what I mean? Or we're going to have to replace them with people coming up going into next year. So this year is going to be a very pivotal year moving forward to actually get to the place where we really, really want to be. So with Devante knowing that, and if we get a winning season, he's going to be like, all right, I'll restructure, do what you got to do. Then if our left side right now is kind of messed up, we might have to go fucking use most of that money for some other players. So there's a lot of different things that are logistically are kind of fucked right now. But you know what I mean? Well, moving forward, I'm not saying completely. And I'm saying we got a solid team. But moving forward, going into the next season, regardless of how this plays out, a lot of things are going to have to change. So people are going to have to restructure. I know Max will restructure. I know Wilkins might restructure, but it's very rare that they do that on the second year. But you know, we got to really, really look at that. But we're going in the right direction. Great coaching staff, cheap quarterback. You know, cheap. I don't want to say cheap labor. Well, cheap labor. Shout out to
salary cap goes up again next year. It goes up again next year. So it's just. I think all of that stuff will work itself out because they'll end up making, you know, unnecessary, you know, cuts too at the end of the year. You know what I mean? To where they'll trim the fat. You know what I mean? Because not everybody's going to stick on this team. Like even some good players, you know what I mean? Some guys are going to probably ask, you know, that don't want to be a dead piece. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's granted now because they're a little older or veterans, like, you know, you might end up, you know, getting rid of some players because they want to go to a different situation and shit like that too, which I just think that all of that stuff will play itself out. You know what I mean? I think the money shit and all of that stuff will play. I think the biggest thing is if we can if AOC can be that guy, we have him under contract for another 3 years or 2 years, dogs, you know, after this too. Like, obviously you're going to want to end up extending him before, you know what I mean, his last year or shit like that, but you have at least have a year, you know what I mean, extra, you know what I mean, to have still where you don't have to play big bucks to a quarterback. So having that still on like in our corner is still a big thing because quarterbacks nowadays take a big part of the salary cap. You know what I mean? They take a big percentage of it. So having that,
look at who else got extended. It's crazy. You know?
Yeah, Tua guys getting 53 annually, and then Love I think is getting like 54, 55 or something like that annually.
But we got $35 million left right now.
That's a lot of
money.
And
we still got these guys we have though get paid. But the guys that we have that are supposed to get paid, Kuntz ain't gonna get massive defensive end money.
Not if he balls out. If he balls out, he is.
But we know how much those elite pass rushers did. He's only had one good year. Game, and then you could overpay the guy and him drop out. We've seen that before.
Wait, but did you see the guy from Baltimore? How much he got paid for having one good year?
Baltimore does that.
Yeah, I know.
Baltimore
but did you see how much he got paid? And he only had one good year though. That guy, Amzabuke, whatever his fucking name is, he had one great year. And look at it, like that's what I'm talking about. If Kuntz does have that type of year, he's gonna get paid. Somebody's gonna be happily to pay him.
That's another guy I forgot about, Kuntz.
Well, that's an exception then, because
I don't think he'll get paid that much.
That much. Hobbs won't either. You know, the only one that deserves the money that ain't really got it will probably be Jones, because that's a very expensive position to have. Have a good one.
Jack,
but Jack has still got another 2 years.
Jack. So. This is last year.
So that's the thing too. Right now, so I want because we've been working around with the cap this year, and that's something that's we got better at this year. So we got $35 million right now, and then we got another $30 million in dead cap space. We're still paying Chandler Jones and Hunter Renfrow and Jimmy G. Like that's $20 million right there, and those three players.
Yeah.
All these fucking retards.
Wait.
Daniel's got.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Please.
Oh, no, I was saying we have $20 million wrapped up in Jones, Renfrow, and Garoppolo. And then we have another 3 wrapped up in Hoyer. Like that. This is the things like that they don't really talk about because it's just numbers. But we literally have $20+ million in 4 players that we had to get rid of because of McDaniels. So, and that number's not going to go to 0. It'll probably be 10 or 12. That's pretty normal. But we have one of the higher dead cap spaces in the NFL besides like the Broncos because of Wilson. And that's just bad coaching and bad GMing that put us in that situation. So those will come off next year. And then if, we don't really sign anybody in the offseason, again, we're going to have another $50 million to play with next year and then whatever the cap goes up with. So we can sign another star player and a couple Pro Bowl caliber players and re-sign some of these players too. So I'm not really worried about it. On top of that, we restructure some contracts. Holy shit, we're going to build a team. Yeah. We're going to build a team.
Yeah. So, you know,
it all depends on the development of this year, though. It all depends on the development of this year because I see them going big. If you go without 10-7, 11-6 type shit, dog, and you know, and you're just looking, you know, just like it's one step away or tweak this or tweak that. I can see them really going out all out on and trying to make a big splash at whatever position it's going to be. You know what I mean? Whatever we need, a left tackle or a linebacker or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I just see like, but the biggest thing for me is just going to be if AOC, especially if AOC can be that guy, because Minshew, as much as, you know, some people might still be on his side and want him to start. The thing is that he is still on that you know, backup type of fucking contract. So you know that if he balls out, he's gonna want money, bro. Like I know he signed for 2 years, but that's the type of guy that's gonna want some money, like right now. Like, and if AOC can be that guy, like you could still. Next year's gonna be a big year in you know, the off season if AOC can be that guy, dog. Like we're gonna be able to go get our left tackle that's a fucking perennial all pro or something like that, dog, because you're going to have a more clear outlook of what you exactly need, dog. But I think it's all based on this year, which I have big expectations for this year. You know, some people might think that you know, like, you know, it's too much. You know, might think too much of the team or whatever like that. But I just, like, I'm with the team. Like Jack Jones said the other day, I just feel like, you know, this team, what I've seen, everything, the whole change that I've seen, I don't see us losing more games than winning. Like that's the one thing that stuck out to me in Jack Jones's like thing. Like, as disrespectful, I don't see us losing more games than winning, regardless if it's 9-8. I don't see us losing more games than we're winning.
Yeah. I agree with you on that, Gabe. Hey, quick question. We got 2 questions that I've had in the background. We're almost out of here. Got a couple more minutes left. Josh, man, I just want to thank you for pulling up, bro. You know, appreciate it, man. You know, hope
Josh said
you're always welcome.
The offensive line. What Josh said about the offensive line, we need to go get a
tackle. Yeah, we need to go get. Yeah, we need big time. But there's 2 questions.
Yeah, we're gonna need an offensive tackle regardless because Colton is getting older too.
Yeah. That's going to be, it's going to be a lot like that. So with that money coming up next year, it'd be great. I didn't even know that. I thought we got a lot of that money back from Jimmy G.
No, we got like 12 this year.
That's some.
Yeah, we get, there's like 12 in dead cap space next year too. Like he's on our fucking books for a couple of years.
Oh shit. Okay, I didn't know that.
I know for 4 years or something like that.
Yeah. All right, so we got 2 questions right here, and then we're going to get out of here, okay? Unfazed, shout out Unfazed. He's been asking a bunch of questions, saying, you know, Unfazed, you know, been around here a lot. He says, "What's the Kermit Puppet's actual name?" Josh,
it's Kermit Mahomes, dude. That's
Kermit Mahomes. That's what it is.
See, I even went all out. I got a Mahomes jersey. Fun fact: you can't. This is a dog jersey. I'm gonna throw back, show my age. You can't buy a Michael Vick dog jersey. By the way, I tried.
You can't.
You ain't never gonna see that.
You ain't right, bro. So it's just Kermit Mahomes. Okay, so that's the dog's name, Kermit Mahomes. And this is what number? That's another good question. This is number 4 that you have, or because I know every year
4
you give
5.
It
No, yeah, 4 or 5. But this is an actual puppet. So I order all the shit. See, like that's why I did a photo and I spread his cheeks. But I have fun with it, man. So I did buy a Miss Piggy puppet. So I'm gonna do some fun shit.
That video I sent you earlier. Hey, that video I sent you earlier, bro. With that, do something with that shit, bro.
Fucking, I will. I got it. I got something. But I was like, I gotta have some fun with this. Somebody because you know Andy Reid looks like a walrus. Somebody's like, dude, you need an Andy Reid puppet, like a fat fucking walrus with like some McDonald's t-shirt or something. But
hey, Rebel, there's so many questions that are coming up, bro. I grabbed it real quick, bro, and you know what I mean. I can't grab all the questions, bro. We'll be going crazy, man. Hey, Rebel, we actually reached out. Me and Gravy were talking about it. We hit up Gravy, bro. We need to talk to you. Maybe come on the show. Seen you on Chris's show the other day. Shout out to you, bro. I seen the show was really good with you and who was it? Raider 805, I believe, was on there. So yeah, but shout out to you guys, Chris. Yeah, and then we got another question right here and there's a bunch of them, bro. I try to catch them as we're going and stuff like that. I try to keep everybody involved, but when it's 4 people on the panel, it's a lot of questions coming in, so we do the best that we can, man. So just
cover too, man. I mean, we had Josh on here. We had to pick his brain. Like he's our
insider, bro. And Gabe was late. Gabe was late, so we got to make up for that. So.
Yeah. So Dark Side, shout out to Dark Side. He's pulled up. I'm seeing him here just as recently.
That's how long that leash is, bro.
So Gravy brought this up, right? He's like, so if we start losing or whatever, we're not, and AOC's a starter, yada yada yada. And the question is, how long of a leash does AOC have if we start 1-5? Does he get benched?
That long.
I mean, I'm gonna answer it real quick. It's a team game. Yes. It's a team game, but if it's his fault and he's under like 500, under 50% passing, which I don't see he's ever done. If he's giving up the ball more than he's giving up touchdowns, he's getting sacked too much. Yes, because we can be fucking winning and the defense can give up. I'm not saying they will, but things can happen. Myers can fumble the ball. Matson can fumble the ball. You know what I mean? There could be so many different things that could happen to a loss. You know what I'm saying? If he's underperforming, anybody. If DA's underperforming, get him out of there. You know what I mean?
Anybody
That's how I feel about it. Anybody can get benched. So I don't want to just blame it all on AOC, but you know what I'm saying? But like if there's a real big change, I'm with it. Go ahead.
In the long run, if we ain't scoring no points, it's gonna be his fault.
Of course. Yes, I agree with you. Gabe, you can answer that too.
We gotta get somebody in there that can. Josh really pissed me off saying that he got the nod, bro. I've been thinking about that all night.
And you know me, I'm all over Minshew all year. So with me, I would say there's 2 scenarios. One, if we lose these games like 14-12, 17-14, that I can see them pulling the plug on him. The other part I could see if we're winning season, if we're 5-4 or 6-5, he's not getting benched. For me, I would say 2 games under 500. Anywhere past 6 games in.
Okay.
Yeah, any guy like 6 games. So if we're 2-4, 3-5, benched. That's I'd say how short his leash is. Or we're hovering around 500 and we're not scoring more than like 14 to 16 points a game. I can see them putting in Minshew to try to spark up that offense. But the minute you put Minshew in, AOC's career as a starting quarterback for the Raiders is done.
Yep. That's when you already got to start looking at losing all your next money on either the next quarterback, from the biggest free agent, which I hope not, because you know what the name has been for next year.
Yeah, Dak Prescott, bro. Number 4.
Or you're gonna really have to do the all-in shit with the next year, because it's I don't know, dog. To be honest, I think it's gonna be the biggest question is gonna be AOC. Like he has to. Yeah. That's gonna be good, but I would look at it a different way. Gravy, like shit, like with Josh saying that, like, and him being a Minshew and him a Minshew fan. And wanting Minshew to start, like I would be more excited more confident in AOC. You know what I mean? Like that he said that that he actually could do those things that you said, and not lose those games, because I mean, hearing that he has more zip and hearing like that you said earlier, like those that's what you wanted to see, like that he's making those side movements, those little, the little pocket awareness type shit moves, like in the pocket, like that's good to hear. You know what I mean? That would be that gets me more excited for AOC. You know what I mean? Because that gets me more confident about them. Like if that could be the thing, because it's actually be a good damn fucking actually a good quarterback that the Raiders pick. You know what I mean? If he could actually turn into that, that's the best thing. That's the best thing, best case scenario for us.
Yeah.
So Gabe, I'll tell you a drill. I'll tell you a drill.
You gotta know, Gabe, when a guy it's gotta be set in stone, bro. Can't be no competition. Evidently, they think Minshew could start over this dude. That's why they got him. That's why they're paying them. You know what I'm saying? It just when are people going to realize that the doubts and the minds of true football minds are saying this kid ain't the one. That's why we're 29 pick team, bro. That's why we're 30, 32.
That's nothing new, though. That's expected.
Well, let's change that game. Let's change
that
shit.
I'm talking about that's expected by ESPN regardless. Even if we could have had fucking any other quarterback on our team. We could have picked the best quarterback. We would have picked Jaden Daniels. They still would have said that we were the 28th best quarterback in the league. Yeah. I guarantee you that shit. They would have said that shit.
Why is Washington ahead of us?
Because they're not the Raiders. They don't have the Raiders. Because they don't have the Raiders title on them. They know what to say to get Raider fans riled up on ESPN. They're gonna put us at 29 no matter who we get at quarterback. Come on, Grady, you should know that. Like that shouldn't matter to us.
Grady Bayless.
What they say about us being ranked 29th, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, to me, it's like they every team has a backup quarterback like that you sign at the end of every year. Like, obviously you want your guy set in stone. That's for sure. Like, but he was a rookie last year. Like, you're bringing in a dude that has actually played a lot of football in this league, and if he beats him out, that's gonna show me a lot of confidence in this guy. Like, because Minshew's not like Minshew, like you say, like at times we say that you believed in him and shit like that Minshew could be that guy and shit like that. So if AOC can beat out a guy like that you signed that could possibly be the backup, and that's exactly what he's going to end up being anyway. If he's the quarterback, that's what we signed him to. It's not like we signed them to be like the next franchise guy. AOC didn't get anything different from any other guy. Like, so a team that signed another quarterback that's getting paid around the same amount as Minshew, because there's a lot of backup quarterbacks that are getting paid almost the same amount of Minshew, but nobody's talking about those guys like that. But like, it's just, I think
it's because those teams drafted quarterbacks. That's why.
Because they're saying
AOC can be that guy. I think AOC can be that guy.
Yeah.
Just put it like that. What's the main factor, Josh? Help me out here. What's the main factor why we were ranked 32nd out of all the teams? Or 29th?
I would say, so that's the thing. You're basing rookies on probability of what they look like in college. The fact that they put Bo Nix was the only one below us, right, in that ranking. Mm-hmm. So that you're putting Michael Penix, you're putting proven people or unproven people. Drake Maye was higher. The Viking situation, McCarthy and Sam Darnold was higher than us. Daniel Jones was higher than us. Like, there's people that are proven shit quarterbacks versus somebody that's unproven. They just don't see much of a ceiling in AOC because of history. But honestly, we don't need him to be a top 10 quarterback. We need just that mediocre 15th ranked quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over. That's all we need right now. And then we can win with that. So, look at Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is a glorified game manager. He is not one of the best quarterbacks in NFL. You take away some of his weapons or his defense, he's going to be straight ass. And we've seen that when his team gets hurt, he doesn't know what to do. So we don't need that.
Back. When that running back gets hurt back there, it's bad football for them, and that's why it's like. But I just think that it's the AOC. There's no reason why he can't be that gravy. I don't see why you can't. Why don't you believe in the dude? Like, I just.
That's the reason why we were ranked so low like that is because of our quarterback position.
Because even the next category said excluding the quarterback position, we were still 28th. It don't matter. That's what I'm saying. It don't matter.
I'm pretty sure they said they don't have a running back like they used to.
No, they said we don't have good coaching. We don't have good ownership. We don't have good. It's just we don't have good anything. That's basically what they were saying, because they were ranking the franchises from top to bottom, like finances, all of that shit. They were ranking them not just that. They were ranking them by coaching staffs, by ownership, by like the president, like who's running the team. They ranked us 28th. That was excluding the quarterback. And they're talking about the roster and all of that shit, like all of that shit.
Overall, we're ranked like 28. And honestly, if they would have put us in the 15th range, 17th range, I'd be like, that's fair. But 28th with our defense, like I said, we're the only one of two teams with a top 10 defense that missed the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Us and the Saints.
That's what I'm saying.
It.
Like, it's so weird how they can rank one day us 28th as a whole roster like that, but then the next couple of days later they rank our defense 9th. So what is it like? So you can have a ranked ninth ranked defense, but you're still like at the bottom. So they think that less. They think that little bit in our offense, I guess.
Yeah.
No, if you have a top 10 defense, you're going to go around 500. Like if you have a top 10 defense and just ass everywhere else, you're going to go somewhere close to 500. You're going to win 6 to 9 games. Like that's just the realistic of history of the NFL. And if you don't have an offense and you have straight defense, but you can't base your stuff off ESPN and PFF. PFF is one of the dumbest rankings I've ever seen. Like they'll tell you, oh, this guy has a PFF ranking of this. Well, yeah, because they put him in situations where he does well, but he can't do all these other things well, so you can't really judge it. Like, you know, like people like Wilkins, Crosby, a lot of those top tier players aren't the highest ranked PFF player because they play so much and they get beat. It happens. So, you know, like they'll say like take Hobbs. Hobbs is better in the slot, but he does well enough on the outside too. He gets beat here and there, but that happens to everybody, unless you're fucking Darrelle Revis. But a lot of these rankings, you can't really take them seriously. It's all, you know, foresight, trying to predict the future. You know, I remember people saying that Zach Wilson was going to be the next Steve Young. I remember now people are saying Bo Nix is going to be a Pro Bowl quarterback. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, like, not everybody's perfect.
Crazy, bro. Like, it's just the amount of, like, that's what they did. They know that they're going to get the Raider fans riled up, and they have a big following. So it's going to be, and they know what to say. Like, it's just, there's no way you can tell me that we're ranked that low. Like, there's just no way, bro. Like, I can't see that. Like,
they're basing it off projections. Yeah, they're basing it off projections.
I like Gardner from the jump. When we got him, I go, that's our starter.
Okay, but even if you say that, like, they're evaluating the quarterback position, Gravy, not because of AOC in that ranking that you're saying though, but the ESPN. They're also taking into account any quarterback that we have on the roster. So basically, they're saying with or without Minshew or AOC, our offense is ranked 31, no matter who's at quarterback. Not just because that's not just a ranking for AOC. That was a ranking for our offense as a whole with our quarterback.
All I'm saying is that we're solely depending on this defense, thinking that we're gonna win the Super Bowl with just defense.
That's come on, Gravy. That's not what it is.
You need to score. You need to score.
That's not what it is at all, Gravy.
And you got to have a good quarterback to do that.
Gravy, that's not what it is at all. That's not what it is at all. You're saying that they're running Gardner Minshew to be the savior of the fucking Raiders, bro? There's no.
I'm not saying the savior.
Well, there's no. I'm not saying the savior.
I'm saying that he's better. He's better than AOC.
Gardner Minshew gives up the ball more. He plays hero ball, thinks he can fucking do everything. He can't do that. He forces himself to try to be this. He gives up more. He gives up the ball more than any other fucking, probably like damn near any other quarterback in the fucking league. I bet you Zach Wilson probably doesn't give up the ball as much as fucking Gardner Minshew does. No, everyone was trying to say that Gardner Minshew was a couple of fucking plays away from going to the playoffs, bro. No, he wasn't. He had a good defense, which we got. He had fucking running backs, even though what's the name was Jonathan Taylor was out. He still had Moss and whatever whatnot. He had a decent receiving core, but he gave up the ball more than fucking AOC did as a fucking rookie that got thrown in with the rookie coordinator, bro. He is not the answer. Even though he's getting paid $25 million, that's what an average backup gets paid nowadays.
$12.5 million a year, yeah. But let me ask you this, Gravy. Josh just said right now that this week so far, you know what I mean, that AOC looks like clearly the guy that looks better and shit like that. Which the reason why you keep saying you want Gardner to start because you believe in your eyes, which you've seen in the past. You know what I mean, last year, which that's kind of what all we can have game tape. That's what we have to go off of. You say like Minshew is better, which I tend to agree with you because I mean we only have a certain amount on AOC. But if throughout all camp, all you hear is AOC is playing better and just like being the better quarterback or the better quarterback out there before game one, are you going to feel confident in AOC going out there?
If he beats out Gardner Minshew for the job and there's no bias, yeah. Because that means, and as much as people are shitting on Minshew had no defense last year at all. He had like the 28. Yeah, no, he didn't. The Colts defense was ass. They're bottom of the league.
Really?
They're bottom of the league defense. Yeah, bottom of the league defense. He had Pittman and Taylor. That's it. And then Moss stepped in. That was it. That's why he was playing hero ball. So with that being said, like if AOC actually beats him to the punch and earns the job, then yeah, because that means all right, we got a 15th to 20th ranked quarterback. We got somebody that's going to be quote unquote serviceable, and I'm okay with that because that's what we need right now. I don't think AOC is going to be a top 10 quarterback. I don't think he's going to be a high level Pro Bowl. People say, oh, this person made a Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl's garbage. I mean, what's his name? Mitch Trubisky made a Pro Bowl. And now I don't even know where he's at anymore. So I don't think he'll be a top 10 quarterback. He'll be serviceable and he'll be a bridge. And the problem is we fall in love with bridges. We still need a quarterback next year. AOC is not the answer. Minshew is not the answer. We need to draft a quarterback in the first round and take a chance on somebody next year.
It's Shadir Sanders. What's up, man? Number one pick.
Okay, now we're out. Now we're definitely out. Fuck that.
Losing my mind over here with all this bullshit.
All right, man.
But hey, we'll be back on Tuesday when we start hitting.
What's up? Thanks, Craig. Thank you to Josh, man. He's a gamer.
Hey, great show tonight, man. Great show tonight, man. We can still keep going I can still keep going for sure. But yeah, I got to go to work tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's already 10 o'clock. So
my AC turned off. I'm sweating balls right now.
Yeah, we'll have more to talk about on Tuesday anyway, though. You know what I mean? We'll save it anyway for Tuesday. We'll have more to talk about on Tuesday. I mean, hey, Josh, if you're out there, hey, hopefully you have some more funny shit to post, though. And we'll be watching for sure, man. We'll be checking out the Instagram. Hey, and whoever's not following it right there, on the bottom of his name right there, bottom of him right there, the GOAT 209 Josh right there. Go follow him on Instagram. Bunch of funny shit, you know what I mean? Just going viral at the moment, you know what I mean? Hey, go follow that page. Has raffles and shit like that. So yeah, just go follow that shit for sure, man.
The Pro Bowl is flag football now, bro.
Oh Jesus!
The pro football is flag football.
It's not flag. Stop, Gravy. We're trying to get out of here,
flag
bro.
Football.
You're trying to bring shit up. Stop. It's not even the season started. We're not going 2.5 hours.
Just make it flag. They might as well just make it flag.
I want to give a big shout out to Raider Dev for the donation. Appreciate you, Raider Dev. Appreciate you, Space Beast. Man, we're gonna get out of here because Gravy's gonna keep on trying to go. We're not going no more. Anyways,
shout out for all the insiders stuff. Shout out to Josh.
Yeah, shout out Josh for giving up all the
doing your thing, Josh. You're doing your thing.
Having fun.
We got your back, bro. No matter what anybody says, bro. Fuck them. You know what I mean? So we got your back, bro. Appreciate you, bro. It's always good to have you on, brother. But like we tell you guys, always around these parts, man. Be thankful for what you do got and what you don't. Don't drink and drive. Please don't drink and drive. I don't care if you drink and
you do have a DD. That's all. Fuck it.
Yeah. So just make sure you guys have a good time.
We get on or Uber. Do it.
Or Uber, yeah, Uber too. You know what I mean? You can throw up in their car and they don't charge you. But anyways, we always leave this part. We're gonna end this on 3. Man, we'll see you guys on Tuesday, 8 o'clock.
Give me 1 second. Just 1 second. I got a question. At Josh's expertise at his job. Back in the day, Josh, when we played football, I'm sure Gabe heard this too, probably low. When you get athlete's feet, right?
What the?
As a remedy to piss on your feet.
I already know it's coming. Somebody sent me the message.
Oh, my wife. We was in a big old argument with Lowe on the phone, and then we were talking about other things. But I said,
"What?"
When Lowe hung up because he couldn't take it, we were arguing about just like athlete's feet. You get athlete's feet. Our coaches tell us piss on your feet in the shower. Is that a remedy? Legit remedy?
Okay, you know what? So it's the ammonia in your urine that helps kill the bacteria. But if you have like wounds and shit in your foot, it can cause infection. Don't go pissing on your feet. So the whole thing, remember, jellyfish, you get stung. Peeing on it does stop the sting. But why would you do that? There's other things you can do, bro. Go get some tough ass Tinactin.
That Tinactin don't work, bro.
Stung in the chest. Imagine getting stung in the chest. Like, piss on me. What the fuck?
I'll pee on you quick, bro. I'll come out. Hold
no,
on.
okay, but it's just the ammonia in the urine that helps kill the bacteria. That's all it is. Your pee has ammonia in it, and it kills it. That's all it is.
I don't remember this conversation at all, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. I do not remember this conversation at all.
Kill these motherfuckers.
Bro,
it can work, Josh. Just tell me if it can or cannot be a remedy.
It's not a remedy. It's not a remedy.
No.
R. Kelly. Do not R. Kelly yourself, bro. Stop it.
R. Kelly, but if you can breathe, if you can breathe, bro, I'll just pee on you and everything will be all right.
Baby, that's what I'm saying. I know you're trying to fucking have this true, so you're trying to piss on somebody. What's wrong with you?
For athlete's feet, bro.
I'm trying to think how to word this. The amount of urine you would need to kill the bacteria in your athlete's foot would just be like you'd have to have like 15 dudes pissing on you repeatedly. I don't know how to say it. Like it's not a thing.
Yeah,
like it'll help kill the bacteria, but it won't kill it all the way.
Thanks, Josh. You messed me up you messed me up twice today, bro.
I mean, I know what you're getting at, but like, no, it's just no.
She's gonna be happy if she watches it. She'll be happy. Was it old snap? Old snap. Thank you.
If you want to piss on your wife, just ask her. Like, you don't gotta ask us to justify it. You know?
No, she ain't got no athlete's feet. I just said when I was younger in the locker rooms, the coach would tell you piss on your feet. Well, first of all, what you doing walking barefooted in a dirty ass locker room with all that shit on the floor of the shower anyway? You supposed to be wearing some.
Bro, I have a friend. Cut it off. I have a friend that wears sandals in my fucking shower at my house, and my house is spotless. This dude wears sandals in my shower. This one of my Mexican buddies, and we always talk shit. Because I'll go in my bathroom, I'm like, "Why the fuck is there sandals in my shower?" So, those are mine. I'm like, "What the fuck? My shower's clean." I was like, "You're the only one that uses it."
Hey, we need that Madden fucking meme where like that. We go boom, tough acting, 10 acting.
That shit don't work. That shit don't work. You got it inside you. Your pee.
Bro, I'm not lying. Dark is right. We just lost like 20 subscribers, bro. Thank you. Thank you.
Bro. We coming
anyway, like I said,
I'll get them all back.
I can't even finish this shit.
Nah, but hey, thanks for everybody popping up. Thanks for everybody showing up, man. Thanks for everybody.
Judge. He's a professional. Judge is a professional.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays. You can catch us here. RaiderNationLive, man.
How we always finish the show on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Raider!